CBS Sports presents the NFL as the San Diego Chargers take on the first place Denver Broncos. Our broadcast today will be in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Norv Turner in his 6th season with the San Diego Chargers. They come in 4-5. They've lost 2 of their last 3. And John Fox is in his 2nd season with the Broncos as the head coach. They've won 4 consecutive games. We've had the flip of the coin. Denver won, and they have deferred. So Matt Frater will be kicking off in this very thin air. He says he loves it. In fact, every visiting kicker says they love coming here. And Curtis Brinkley will be deep back. He is a 3rd-year player out of Syracuse. It's the Broncos and the Chargers, and away we go in Denver and out of the end zone. The big boot, touchback to the 20. This brings us to quarterback Philip Rivers, is one of just 4 starters who have completed at least 68 percent of his passes this season so far in the NFL.
Kevin, today he said that he wants to balance his careful management of the offense versus his careless tendency to throw those costly interceptions we've seen from Philip Rivers in recent weeks.
Jackie Battle will be starting in the backfield. First down and 10. And Battle. Dumerville was there. Also Brooking was there. It is a gain of 2 to the 22-yard line. As Brooking, the multiple Pro Bowler, is in on the first stop. This defense of Denver, Solomon, number 6 in the NFL.
They are a very good defense, and what Philip Rivers is going to need most, as we see Jackie Battle getting the start over Ryan Matthews, he needs a running game to travel on the road today to take on this tough Denver Broncos defense.
It's 2nd down and 9. And he's got the first down with Antonio Gates, who is brought down by Brooking. It's a pickup of 13 yards to the 34 on the offensive line. Left tackle Mike Harris starts again for the injured Jared Gaither. Gaither is out with a groin injury. These tackles are a liability for San Diego, and Denver knows all too well what they'll do today. And wide receiver Denario Alexander was signed off the street about a month ago. He'll make his 3rd consecutive start. He's really added to the passing game, replacing the ineffective Robert Meacham. And there is Alexander. 13-yard gain through the air for Gates, 1st and 10. Jackie Battle. Chaskin brought down on the play. Off the line, Justin Bannon, limiting him to a gain of a yard. They'll put him at the 35. On the defensive line, Elvis Dumerville strained his left shoulder last week, limited in practice this week, starts today. He leads the line in sacks, and he'll aim at those Chargers suspect offensive tackles with linebacker Von Miller. 7 sacks in the last 5 games. He might be as good a defensive player as you'll find right now in the league. And the right cornerback is Chris Harris, starting for Tracy Porter. Still battling pre-seizure issues, missing his 5th game today. Final on 2nd down and 9. Moore is there. Also stopped on the play by Robert Ayers. No gain. They stay at the 35.
And you can see how difficult it is to try to run the ball against this Denver Broncos defense. They rank 10th in terms of their overall run defense, but they can clog the line of scrimmage. They want to strip the San Diego Chargers of their running game, force them to be one-dimensional, put it all on Philip Rivers. They know that if they can get pressure on Philip Rivers, force him to change his launch point, then they can create some turnovers on the back end.
Broncos have 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 9. The blitz. Rivers pressured, has to throw it away. The pressure came from Wesley Woodyard. And San Diego's got a punt on their first possession.
Well, this is what they do. They bring them all, and it's a late blitz by Woodyard. See him coming right here, Kevin, forcing Rivers to move his feet. It renders Rivers less accurate throwing the football. You can see the pressure. And remember, those 2 crucial interceptions he's had over the last 2 weeks, both came when he felt the pressure and he was moving to his right, trying to escape the pass rush.
Brendan Holiday is deep back. Here comes Cyphers, who injured his ankle last week in a blocked punt in Tampa. Holiday From the 8, brought down very quickly on the play. Hit by Darryl Stuckey. 56-yard punt with a 5-yard return. Let's go now to the offense, and led by 18, quarterback Peyton Manning comes into today as the NFL's #1 rated passer.
And today, Peyton Manning says that he wants to be aggressive and attack this Chargers defense, Kevin.
Manny Ramirez taking the place of Chris Cooper, who's out again with that bad ankle. And the running back today, Willis McGahee, fumbling twice last week, fumbling 5 times this season, losing 4. It's the most of all running backs in the NFL. They got to get that fixed from the 15. First down and 10 for Manning. Here they come with Ingram providing pressure, but the pass is off to the running back McGahee. Chased down on the play by Butler. It's a catch and run of 18 and a first down to the 33.
So much of the talk has been about these wide receivers, Thomas and Decker and Stokely, but don't forget about Willis McGahee. He brings the power running game, but his ability to catch it out of the backfield, move the chains, gives another weapon for Peyton Manning, as if he needed another one.
That's McGahee's 26. Yeah, exactly. That's McGahee's 26th reception on the season. First and 10 for Peyton. Good block by Franklin, the right tackle. That's caught by Dreesen, hit by Weddle. Down he goes at the 39. That's a pickup of 6 right there. Cam Thomas will start for the injured Abrea Franklin on the line. First time all season a Charger defensive starter has missed a game. Sean Phillips leads him in sacks, but Butler has been terrific, leads him in tackles, and Eric Weddle is the guy that captains the secondary. Second down and 4. There's a tackle right there by Gilchrist. It is a gain of 3 as they sent McGahee right over the guard, and he's right now up to about the 43-yard line.
And you can see they're going to go with a little bit of no huddle here. Peyton Manning will use the no huddle to change the tempo of the game, to get a real good lock on the personnel grouping of the defense, and he'll start to carve them apart. We call that cracking the code of the defense, something he has a tendency of doing on a weekly basis.
I don't think that's what defensive coordinators call it. They call it painful. This ball is in the game. Third down and 1. Ball hit and brought down. Nice hit in there by Vaughn Martin. There was no gain on the play. They'll stop right at the 42. And they're going to have to punt like San Diego did on their first possession.
Well, this is something that the Broncos know very well about this San Diego Chargers team. Even though they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, their defense is one of the best in the National Football League, and their run defense is absolutely one of the best.
Britton Colquitt will punt. He was on your right. Eddie Royal awaits it, the former Denver Bronco in his first year now with San Diego. Colquitt, by the way, number 2 in net punting in the NFL. Waved off by Royal. Can they keep it in bounds? Nope. Trickles into the end zone, back out to the 20, and San Diego will get it. First down and 10. 58-yard punt. Well, a historic comeback for the Broncos, week 6 in San Diego.
And Peyton Manning was lights out, especially in the second half of that ball game. The defense forced 5 turnovers in the second half. They scored 2 touchdowns, scooping one up on the fumble, returning for a touchdown, and Brandon Stokely catching the laser from Peyton Manning. 35 unanswered points in the second half of that ball game as they trailed 24-0. I think it lit a flame within this football team, brought them together where they're playing so well collectively in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, and special teams. Right now, they appear to be unstoppable.
Just saw that debriefing session that Manning always has with his offense after every possession here. Now the second time Rivers is at it. First and 10. Jackie Battle. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Von Miller is there. It's a loss of 3. Von Miller is number 1 in the NFL with 22 tackles for a loss.
Well, look at the penetration. You have leakage everywhere, and this is where I believe the Broncos have improved the most. Their defense has been phenomenal. Jack Del Rio, their new defensive coordinator, has unleashed something within this group, and I think when you build it around a guy like Von Miller, you're doing all the right things. He plays the run as equally as well as he puts pressure on quarterbacks.
Second down and 13. There's the block at the left tackle. Malcolm Floyd makes the grab. Hit there after a gain of 4. Champ Bailey was there with the coverage. Now 3rd and long coming up for San Diego.
I gotta tell you, Jackie Battle picked up the blitzer on that play, and boy, did he buy extra time for Phillip Rivers. You know, we talk about Phillip Rivers. Everyone mentions how much he struggled over the last couple of weeks, Kevin. He's completed 82% of his passes over those last 2 games, but it has been that one critical mistake, particularly last week, that really cost him the football game.
6 in the Broncos secondary. Brown at the side of Rivers. 3rd down and 9. Going deep, and his receiver is way short, and they were looking for Royal. Coverage got there by a host of defenders, including Chris Harris. It is a 3 and out in the 2nd consecutive punt for Turner's Charger offense.
Yeah, Chris Harris, Mike Adams, both over the top. That didn't have a shot. As the pocket was collapsing around Phillip Rivers, he was forced to launch it earlier and sooner than he wanted.
Cypress to punt. Trendon Holiday, who last week had a 76-yard punt return touchdown in Carolina. This one is a bad punt. Bouncing at the 40. Holiday lets it bounce inside the 15 and down to about the 12. So the first possession for Manning began at the 15. That's a 67-yard punt with a very generous bounce down to the 12. Well, here is the way the West looks right now. If Denver wins, they'll have a 3-game lead on San Diego and the tiebreaker. But if the Chargers win today, it'll be a single-game lead for Denver. The immediate tiebreaker is gone, and that will strengthen the Chargers in the playoff picture in terms of a wild card in the AFC.
What a huge swing. And you go back to that Week 6 game we talked about what the Broncos gained. If they lose today, it was as if they have let it all slip away, and the Chargers can get so much back by coming here on the road and beating the Broncos at home for a 4th consecutive time.
Manning will look into the nickel. On 1st and 10, going underneath, and it's caught by Tammy, who is brought down by Takeo Spikes. A quick hitter for 7 with the ball now at the 20.
Well, Peyton Manning, of course, going to take his time, surveying the secondary. You can see this was his 3rd option. He went to his right first and then came back over the middle of the field. No one goes through their progression as rapidly as Peyton Manning finding the open receiver.
On 2nd and 3 outside, Treason makes the grab. Chandler will grab him. It's a gain of 5. He's got the first down. He's up to the 25-yard line.
Well, for Peyton Manning, everything is about rhythm and tempo and timing of the passing game. And what did John Fox tell us about Peyton Manning? He makes us all better. He makes us all smarter as a coaching staff, the receivers, even the offensive linemen protecting better, only giving up 11 sacks in their first 9 games.
It makes them all accountable.
Absolutely.
Right. Coaches
well,
and
certainly holds everyone accountable, but they play smarter as well around Peyton.
First down throw by Manning. Oh, and it was deflected and intercepted. Grabbed by Weddle. Gilchrist made the deflection, and a quick 6 for San Diego.
Kevin, we have said it all along. We said that this defense needed to make some plays to help their quarterback, Phillip Rivers. And you can see Rivers is as happy as anyone. And there you see Gilchrist right there. There's the tip, and Weddle smartly makes the catch, and he knows he's got to score. Elude one player, Peyton Manning, tip balls, leads to the pick. Gilchrist at the line of scrimmage, getting a hand on it. Weddle smartly gathers it in and races to the end zone. This defense has been looking for these kind of plays to help their offense.
Weddle returns at 23 yards. Gilchrist is the one to have it ricochet off his palms. Here is the extra point, right on through. Novak handles it. Manning's 22nd career pick 6. You can see where that ranks among active quarterbacks. And just like that, the Chargers 7-0.
Well, take a look. Here's going to be Gilchrist right here in the big circle. And then Weddle's going to come up, and he's going to just catch the deflection right there. Just real good, smart play, because Gilchrist was blitzing the quarterback, Peyton Manning. He understood he wasn't going to get there. He got into the throwing lane, got both hands up, was able to get a deflection, and what a reaction from Eric Weddle, getting the pick 6, taking it to the house.
And the one thing that this Bronco team has been relying on has been their defense and return touchdowns. They've got 6 amongst the best in the NFL. Here San Diego comes back. The wily veteran Weddle is the one to get it. On the ricochet, returns it. And Manning now will readjust with his team down early, 7-0. As you all know, that followed the Broncos and the Chargers. San Diego has won 3 consecutive games here in Denver and 5 of the last 6 against the Broncos. The only difference is number 18 was not playing for Denver at that time.
Absolutely. And Philip Rivers said that he's very comfortable coming in here playing games. This makes his job a lot easier when the defense can pitch in and put points on the board. And you don't have to rely fully on your quarterback and play more complimentary football. That's the way you go out and play games.
Holiday will get it in the end zone, and that will be out to the 20-yard line for a 1st and 10. Let's go back to week 6 when Quentin Jammer intercepted Peyton Manning and returned it 80 yards for the touchdown. The 33-year-old Jammer, part of what was a terrific first half for the Chargers, scoring on offense and defense, building that 24-point halftime lead, and then the 4th greatest comeback in league history engineered by Manning, and that was the loss. And that kind of, as you mentioned before, kind of spun each season for these two teams.
Well, we know being down 7-0 will not rattle Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
We've seen that already. Let's see what he does right now as he re-maneuvers with McGahee on a 1st and 10. McGahee with a check. There's a Beatles block. Up to the 29, brought down by Atari Bigby, and that is a gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, their ability to run the ball, I think, has been phenomenal. Watch, you see the one cut right there, taking it off tackle and able to break one. And then, as you can see, Atari Bigby is able to get him down, or he's going to break off for an even longer gain. You love what Willis McGahee gives them with the power running game.
On 2nd and 1, here comes Gilchrist, and he has to throw it away, wisely so. The pressure was coming right up there, and Manning throws the incompletion.
Number 23 in the area.
There was a receiver in the area, so it was not grounding. To get the latest news, analysis, and predictions from Pat Kerwin, Pete Frisco, and other CBS Sports experts, watch Pro Football 360 live weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern or on demand at cbssports.com/Pro Football 360. Great show. Encompasses, as the name would tell you, everything about the NFL. Here is a 3rd and 1.
Badger!
And McGahee carving his way into the grasp of Butler. He's up to the 38-yard line, picks up 9, and that's the second 9-yard run by McGahee on this drive, a 1st down for Denver.
McGahee's got 21 yards rushing on 3 carries so far in the ball game. And I think it's amazing when you consider the Chargers bring in here the league's 2nd best run defense. Remember, they held Doug Martin to only 68 yards rushing 1 week ago in Tampa Bay.
This is the number 3 offense in the NFL, and here comes Ronnie Hillman out of San Diego State. A blur as he takes it for a 1st down. Shoved out of bounds by Quentin Jammer.
And as he's going back to the huddle, don't forget to say thank you to the wide receiver, Demaryius Thomas, on the outside. Watch number 88 blocking right there. That was just an excellent block. It seals the edge, allows Hellman to get to the corner and pick up a 1st down. Good blocking outside on the perimeter by the wide receiver.
21-yard gain to the 41 of San Diego. Hillman remains in a 1st and 10 for Peyton Manning. Matthew Willis. Jumping on his back is Gilchrist. Willis only makes his 4th reception of the season. He picks up 4 on the play and down to the 37.
Well, you can just tell they're getting some rhythm right now in this offense. Peyton Manning mixing the run and the pass. Short, quick throws. Allow the receivers to do something after making the catch. Just a long handoff to Willis on that play for an excellent game.
Well, we mentioned Gilchrist's name a lot. He's already deflected a pass. Going with the nickel all game long for the Chargers. 2nd down and 6 for Manning. Going deep. Oh, he's got Thomas. Incomplete with Weddle and Antoine Cason on his tracks. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Everything is about timing with the Denver Broncos passing game, particularly for Peyton Manning. Now, Thomas is going to get jammed and held up just a little bit, and that's what throws the timing of this pass off. So you have to give Kaysen a little bit of credit there because he was able to disrupt the timing, didn't allow Thomas a free release downfield, and so it just renders that pass inaccurate by only a yard.
Well, as Manning was telling us the other day, he said, there were a couple issues. First of all, I had new receivers to work with, and I had to get my health ready.
New system, new scheme, new players around him.
Manning on 3rd and 6. Mario Williams is coming up the middle, and again, pressure by San Diego, forcing a throwaway by Peyton Manning. Now it is 4th down and 6.
No intentional grounding. Eligible receiver number 12 in the area. 4th down.
Yeah, it's going to be right out here, and that's going to be, take a look at this. See, Weddle comes over the top, and that's why Peyton held it, because it was a cat blitz. Kaysen was coming in, blitzing on Peyton Manning. He thought he would have Willis wide open, but Weddle closed in quickly. Manning did not want to risk throwing the interception. He was forced to eat it and then later try to throw it away.
Here is a 55-yard field goal try by Matt Prater. He is 16 of 19, 50 and longer. He was in 55. Oh, and he hits the upright. How about that? He had his first miss last week. He has a miss today. This was a miss from 55 yards.
He's going to pull this one a little bit, and if I told you Peyton Manning was going to have the ball 3 times and they have no points and they would be trailing 7-0, you'd be worried if you're a Denver Bronco fan. Chargers right now off to a pretty good start.
Prater has one of the great big legs in the NFL. I was right in the middle of telling you, from 50-plus, he is 16 of 19 in his career, really benefiting from the mile-high air here in Denver. Anyway, on the touch against the upright right there, it's back to San Diego. They take over at the 45, 1st down and 10. They punted the 2 times they've had the ball previous to this. Tackles hold up. Ryan Matthews pushed out of bounds on the run. Wesley Woodyard, the leading tackler for the Denver Broncos, a catch and run of 9. He's down to the 46-yard line of Denver.
Well, the one thing they are crying for in San Diego is more production from their former first-round pick running back Ryan Matthews. Ronnie Brown's been the one catching it out of the backfield, making plays like you see Matthews doing here, but his ability to run the ball and get at least one game where he tops 100 yards, something he's failed to do so far this season, will give this offense balance, and I think will round out their team as well.
DJ Williams has come in for the first time for the Denver Bronco defense. Been suspended the first 9 games of the season. 2nd down and 1, and he a little bit wide there for Eddie Royal. Incomplete pass coming to the near side, and the coverage applied by Tony Carter. 3rd and 1.
DJ Williams right there, and of course he's getting to play today. This is his season debut. Had been suspended for the first 8 games, starting to see some action now, and that's just one more player.
Number 60 is eligible.
Other offensive lineman put in here is the rookie David Malk for San Diego on this 3rd down and 1. Battle in the backfield. Oh, and a great stick. Woodyard was right there. Drills him a loss of a yard. It goes back to the 48. Nice defensive play. Broncos hold, and now San Diego's got a punt.
Jack Del Rio's going to blitz the run game. Watch 52 Woodyard. Creasing. Helmet in the chest and driving Jackie Battle back. Battle's very good at converting in these situations, but Woodyard gets a hat in there and is able to turn him back. What a play defensively by Woodyard.
Woodyard led the Southeastern Conference at Kentucky in tackles. He's the weak side linebacker. Now another punt. 3rd consecutive for the San Diego Chargers. Cypress knocks it to Jimmy Leonard. Out of Wisconsin, that ball will go into the end zone. Another touchback, and so it's a 47-yard punt for Cypress, who's one of the best in the business. 7-0 here in San Diego. Let's take you to New York and James.
Jacksonville giving Houston all they can handle.
In overtime, Houston got a field goal, then Jackson matched out with a 33-yarder by Josh Scobie. Then Matt Schaub was intercepted. Jacksonville now has the ball with just over 3 minutes to go with a chance to win the game in overtime.
Back to Kevin and Solomon.
What a day in terms of upsets and close games.
Wow. That's all you can say about that one.
From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. This is Willis McGahee. Spikes had a hand on him. Butler was right there, and he swerves for a gain of 6. He's up to the 26-yard line for the Broncos.
So we saw in the last possession, Kevin, they really had some balance in the offense. They were able to run the ball with McGahee, with Hellman, and then Peyton Manning was able to have some really quick throws. Their inability to sustain drives against this Chargers defense is something that really they need to be concerned about.
Manning on 2nd down and 4, and that one is dropped by Joel Dreesen. Coverage on the play by the veteran Takeo Spikes. 3rd down.
This is a really good Chargers defense. This is a Chargers defense that shut out the Denver Broncos in the first half, week 6. They were pitching a shutout, 24-0. Bunch of turnovers started to happen, then the game got away from them. So they come in here with great confidence, believing they can match up against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos offense.
56 is mine.
Manning on 3rd down and 4. He's got a receiver here, and that is just a little bit overthrown. Looking for Jacob Tammy, who is his partner in crime in Indianapolis. Manning, only one of his last 7. They got a punt.
See, you only need to jam just a little bit. See, that little disruption right there. Now I think this pass should have been complete. Peyton overthrew him just a little bit, and he knows it. It's like, why can't you go get it? Because there was no bump or jam on the wide receiver. It was a double move, but that's one that you expect Peyton Manning to be able to complete.
Colquitt now to punt for the Denver Broncos from the famous Colquitt punting family. His dad used to punt for the Pittsburgh Steelers back in those Super Bowl days, late 70s. Deep back is Eddie Royal. Flag is down. Royal from the 19. Oh, he finds a gap. And he's chased and brought down by Nate Irving from behind, his former teammate. It's a 55-yard punt with a 27-yard return. And we told you about the flag back at the 19-yard line. Carl Cheffers is our referee here today at Mile High.
During the kick, holding, number 29 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down, San Diego.
29 is Sharice Wright, who's missed some of this season with an injury.
And Kevin, Phillip Rivers, we talked about the interceptions in recent weeks. You see him on his right, rolling out, try to force one into the end zone, intercepted. Rolling to his right again last week, try to force one, intercepted again. Remember, Phillip Rivers isn't the most mobile of quarterbacks, so when you force him to change his launch point, force him to have to move his feet, he tends to be less accurate throwing the football. And he talked about being careful or careless with the football and always trying to balance the two. I think when you force him to become a little more frenetic, having to move his feet, moving out of the pocket, that's when you can force him into mistakes. If his offensive line can protect him and allow him to step up in the pocket, then he can carve up any defense in this league. He is that good.
So what you're saying is quarters 1, 2, and 3, he's terrific. It's that 4th quarter where in their 5 losses, San Diego has scored just 3 fourth-quarter points with a lot of turnovers.
Oh, absolutely. He has 6 interceptions in the 4th quarter, most of any quarterback in the league in the final frame.
Ryan Matthews, who missed a lot of practice this week, is in the backfield. He had a stiff neck and a head-to-head hit last week in Tampa. Here he comes, following the block of his tackle, Jeremy Clary, and bulldozes his way to the 16-yard line, and on the play picks up 6 yards with the guy at the bottom of the pile, Kevin Dickerson, making the stop.
Certainly, if they can run the ball, picking up 6 yards on that first game, that'll be huge for this offense.
There's got to be a lot of confidence for San Diego, having the recent success, as we mentioned before, winning 5 of 6 here in Denver. Fourth possession for San Diego. It's 2nd down and 4. Ryan Matthews is brought down by Raheem Moore. No gain on the play. Our only score came on a deflected pass thrown by Bronco quarterback Peyton Manning. ricocheted into the palms of Weddle in the secondary, racing 23 yards. So we've got a San Diego 7-0 lead. Chargers come in having won 3 consecutive games here, as we just said. And as we welcome our new audience, 5 of the last 6 games against the Broncos.
Well, the Broncos not off to the best of start. Peyton Manning hitting the pick 6 and then the missed field goal when they had an opportunity to put points on the board.
Ronnie Brown is in 3rd down and 4 for Phillip Rivers. Oh, they're getting on the left tackle. And the wobbly pass is incomplete with the coverage by Chris Harris on Eddie Royal. It's incomplete. 4 possessions upcoming, the 4th consecutive punt for San Diego.
Von Miller coming right here. Look at this. That kind of protection, or lack thereof, I should say. But that pressure on Phillip Rivers is what forces the errant pass. We say pressure leads to picks. And if this Broncos secondary can play facing the quarterback with that kind of pressure, they're going to get their hands on some balls.
Holiday is deep back, awaiting the punt from Cypress of the San Diego Chargers. Flag is down. And Corey Lynch is the one to bring it into the grasp of the Chargers after the 41-yard punt. So we're late here in the first quarter. San Diego has just punted for a 4th consecutive possession, although they lead it on a deflected pass by Peyton Manning. As we welcome our new audience, return 23 yards by Eric Weddle. Busy day in the NFL. We're getting different parts of the country joining us right now for this important game in the AFC West. If Denver wins, their lead will be 3 games, plus they'll have swept the season series against the Chargers. They'll have the tiebreaker. If San Diego wins, they'll go to 5-5 for the embattled coach Norv
There's
Turner.
no foul for holding on the play. The restriction occurred after the play was over. Timeout.
And so then with a San Diego win, they'd be within 1 game and strengthen their position for the wild card in the AFC. Timeout here in Denver. Manning 5 of 11, Solomon. A slow start for him today.
Yeah, 11 pass attempts, only 40 yards to show. He's misfired on some, and you could just tell now they're still trying to work on this chemistry thing with the wide receivers.
It's a handoff on 1st and 10. McGahee has run the ball well, and he is chewing up yards down to the 41-yard line, hit by Butler and Gilchrist. A 15-yard pickup and a 1st down as we conclude the first quarter. Nice run. McGahee has already gained 42 yards on 5 carries.
First quarter.
Chargers on top on a pick of Manning, 7-0. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Your home for Super Bowl 47. That's somewhat of a surprise for Denver.
Oh, yeah, going back to week 6. I told you this Broncos defense is formidable. John Fox knows it, and they break a streak of 15 consecutive quarters where the Broncos have been able to put points on the board.
And on 1st and 10, looking for Demaryius Thomas. So he broke inside. Jammer was covering, incomplete, right around the 5.
Oh, they're trying to make some plays. And plays have been very difficult to come by early in the ball game for Peyton Manning. He is misfired. There's been miscues, tip balls, intercepted by Eric Weddle, returned for a touchdown, overthrow by a yard or 2 over Demaryius Thomas's head. This one sails on Peyton Manning where he fails to hit a wide open Jacob Tamme. And what did Peyton Manning? He told us that there is a time requirement needed to gain that kind of chemistry needed to make plays.
Here's a 2nd down and 10 run by Willis McGahee, who picks up 5, and they'll put him at the 36-yard line. He just had a run moments ago of 15 yards to put the Denver Broncos in San Diego territory.
Manning said that he had 12 years of experience with Reggie Wayne. He says he has to fight against the frustration of wanting that kind of 12-year experience with this group of wide receivers right here and right now.
There are a lot of quarterbacks that would like Reggie Wayne, huh?
Well, absolutely. It does take time, and so we're seeing some growing pains.
3rd and 5, Matthew Willis out of UCLA. Nice open field tackle by Jammer. Down to the 26, picks up 10 to New York and James.
The Dallas faithful went.
Yeah, down 13-0 at halftime. It took overtime, but Dan Bailey, 38 yards out. Dallas sneaks by Cleveland, 23-20.
Cowboys improved to 5-5. Kevin and Solomon.
They got a bunch of home games, too, coming up. The Cowboys now is when they got to make hay as we have a flag thrown and somebody move.
Can you hear that sigh of relief in Dallas?
Well, it just goes to show, here's a Cleveland team that has struggled this season.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Sean Phillips. And with more news from New York, let's go to our CBS studios in James.
Jacksonville gave Houston all it could handle.
Another overtime in the state of Texas right here. 48 yards. Andre Johnson takes it in. In this game, there was 905 passing yards, third most ever, but Houston sneaks by.
Kevin and Solid.
All right, on a 1st and 5, we just had a run of 9 yards by McGahee, and you can see he is slow to get up, as is the guy that made the hit, Quentin Jammer.
Let's take a look at the play. As you said, he's slow to get up. This is something they cannot afford to happen. It was a knee, as Jammer just sort of sliced right in there. Put his helmet on the knee of Willis McGahee.
We have an injury timeout and 13:20 to play here in the first half from Denver. Pre-Thanksgiving scheme. McGahee has left the game. We'll get an update on his condition momentarily. Ronnie Hillman has taken his place. A 1st and 10 for Manning at the 13. Good block by Cady, the left tackle. Demaryius Thomas out of bounds, incomplete, as they were working on the defensive back, Antoine Cason.
But you know what? They forced him to hold the football, Kevin. When you force him to hold it, they simply run out of real estate. Good coverage by Cason. And by the time the ball arrives, look, too close to the out-of-bounds mark. I'm not so sure. He didn't have 2 in. Look, catch there. 1, 2. He dragged that second one. Wow, that's going to be close.
Challenge flag.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to take a look at that one if you're John Fox.
Now, of course, if it had been a score, they're automatically reviewed, but this was called out of bounds, so he's going to challenge.
Denver is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. We'll review the play.
I think you got to take a look at that one. Too close not to take a look at it. All right, Kevin, as we come back to Invesco at Mile High, let's take a look at this catch by Demaryius Thomas. We know he did catch the ball. Ball hits his hands. Now watch that back right foot right there. We're going to see him drag it just a tick on the ground. And I think that constitutes a catch. Now, it was ruled an incomplete on the field. Did you see enough there to overturn the play on the call?
The receiver had control of the ball with 2 feet in the end zone. It is a touchdown. Denver will not be charged with a timeout.
That is a 13-yard touchdown pass to Demaryius Thomas.
Peyton Manning has overthrown receivers early in the first quarter of this game. This one is on the money. He drops this one in a tight window. And how about Thomas? The catch and then enough to drag that back foot. And now he passes Dan Marino for the second most touchdown passes in NFL history. 421.
421.
Wow. He earned that one, didn't he, Kevin?
Indeed, the 4-time MVP. Now Prater will try to tie it. 7 apiece. Just under 13 to play in the second quarter. Peyton Manning finds Demaryius Thomas on a 13-yard touchdown pass. We have an absolutely spectacular day here in the Rockies. Over 60 degrees. Manning with a 13-yard touchdown pass has just moved ahead of our Dan Marino and right in back of Brett Favre. Number 2 touchdown passes all time.
Peyton Manning says he's not comfortable with passing the greatness of Dan Marino. He grew up and said that outside of his dad, Archie Manning, Dan Marino was his favorite quarterback.
Later with the kickoff. Brinkley will leave it in the end zone. Touchback to the 20-yard line and a 1st and 10 coming up for Rivers and the Charger offense. And coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Join JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights. A lot of news, too, in a very busy Week 11. All coming up on the Verizon halftime report from our CBS studios in New York. Well, we've had Peyton Manning get picked off once on a deflected pass, returned for 6. He just threw a touchdown pass. Now here is Rivers and the San Diego offense. 4 possessions, Solomon, 4 consecutive punts.
Well, they've got to get it going. I think it starts with the running game to create balance for Phillip Rivers.
Intercepted, picked off on the play. Woodyard with the block from Harris. Over the pylon. He may have stepped out of bounds. Rivers was the one to shove him. An interception by Phillip Rivers. And the Broncos will have it first and goal to go.
He was locked in on Denario Alexander the entire time. Number 84 going over
really
the middle
on the field is an
of the field.
interception. The intercepting players out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
There he is, coming from the right.
Denver.
Look at Woodyard. He just got good depth. And because the Chargers lack the ability to run the football, the linebackers for Denver can get excellent depth and take away those throwing lanes from Phillip Rivers. The 9th straight game where there's been a giveaway by the San Diego Chargers. And he has thrown interceptions in 7 of the last 8, now 8 of the last 9 games.
13 for the season. Woodyard picks up his 3rd interception of the year. 1st and 10 for Manning. McGahee, by the way, out. Questionable return with the knee. For Thomas. Coverage on the play by Sharice Wright. 2nd-year player from USC. Incomplete.
It's the same play they just scored a touchdown on. This time Sharice Wright is in tighter coverage. Forces Peyton Manning to maybe put more air under this one than he would like to. Look at that tight coverage. Sharice Wright, yeah, there's some contact there, but I think you've got to go in and shoot your gun on that one, and I think it was excellent coverage. Well timed by the defender.
Hillman in the backfield, 2nd down and goal at the 8. Right into Williams. Finally put down by Weddle on a gain of a yard, and he'll be at the 7-yard line.
Well, just a good play. Good stop by the defense. Mario Williams was able to get a hat on the runner. And his run defense, boy, they need to get a stop here for North Turner. He's sensing the floodgates could open if Manning could score a touchdown here.
And ball in the backfield, 3rd and goal at the 7. Manning, ball to the 1. Hit on the play by DeMario Williams. Now it'll be 4th and goal, and the crowd is wanting to see him take it in.
And Peyton Manning wants to go for it. He senses, yeah, I just completed one. He believes they can get it. But if you're John Fox, you say, take the point here. This is an all-important game, and he understands it, that you don't win it in the 1st quarter. You don't win it in the 2nd quarter. You win it over the course of 4 quarters, and points is usually the most important statistic in a football game.
Raider fanned on his 1st. This is a 19-yard field goal try. Cole Quick with the hold. Rookie out of San Diego State, and Brewer with the long snap. And now 10 unanswered by Denver. 11:33 to play in the 2nd quarter. A Rivers interception. A Denver field goal. Just had a 19-yard field goal by Prater, but it was a 1st and goal at the 8 after the Woodyard interception of Phillip Rivers. I can't even imagine where Rivers' confidence level is, Solomon, right now.
Well, certainly after that one, because that was just a bad read, bad throw. There was everything wrong on that play. Never should have threw that ball to the intended receiver.
He knocks that out of the end zone to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
We'll take a look at it because Wesley Woodyard was in the throwing lane the entire time. Here he is here. He's going to drop back. And this is Denario Alexander. He's trying to come here. And watch the head of Phillip Rivers. He's locked in on the receiver the entire time. See right there? And so the linebacker's just getting in the window. And you step into the throwing lane, and Rivers throws it right to him. And so now you have to question if Rivers' confidence is shaken a little bit, because when we talked to him during the week, he seemed like he was ready to come out and sling it. But now they've made him pay early in the ball game.
It's a 1st and 10 handoff to Ryan Matthews, who's gobbled up by Justin Bannon. No gain. They'll stay at the 20-yard line. And tomorrow on CBS, an agent risks his life to save a family on a can't-miss new episode of Hawaii Five-0. That is tomorrow. Only on CBS, 2nd down and 10.
Phillip Rivers told us that in the interception in Tampa, he said, hey, my intentions were better than the throw and better than it looked on film. And I think he can say the same for that interception thrown to Wesley Woodyard.
Here comes Miller. Incomplete, looking for Gates. The coverage by Woodyard. But Von Miller had his pressure up the middle and his fingerprints all over the play.
Third down.
Well, you talked about it. 58 right here. Watch him come. Look at him peel back. He knows how to hunt the quarterback. John Fox knows he has a special one in Von Miller. They move him around, Kevin. He'll line up on the left. He'll line up some on the right. They'll stack him a little bit at that linebacker position. They want to be able to move him around so the Chargers can't lock their protections in on Von Miller.
Broncos had 7 sacks of Cam Newton last week. Third down and 10. Way overshooting the intended receiver, Malcolm Floyd. Incomplete. Rivers has missed his last 5. They got a punt.
Well, you just get the sense that Phillip Rivers does not trust the protection in front of him. Jeremy Clary at the right tackle position. Mike Harris filling in for Jarrett Gaither. You get the sense that he just doesn't trust it against this talented pass rush of the Denver Broncos.
I can't think of a worse feeling for a quarterback. Huh?
Wow.
Cyphers the punt. Trenton Holiday, former track All-America at LSU, and here he goes out of the blocks from the 19. Gets away from Stuckey. Hit by Damari Rowe, and a fumble on the play, and it looks like perhaps the Broncos vacuumed it in on a 61-yard punt and a 7-yard return. Holiday was required to move that ball up, and he coughed it up on the hit.
Well, he fumbled one, remember, in the Week 6 contest.
The ruling on the field is the receiving team recovered the ball. Holding, number 41, kicking team. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Denver.
It's on Corey Lynch. So the Broncos have scored 10 unanswered, leading early in the second. Peyton Manning, who has started this game, 8 of 16 with a touchdown pass and a pick 6. First and 10 after the San Diego punt on his 36-yard line. And this is Hillman, the rookie, in a third-round pick, and a loss of a yard on the play. Nice defense. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Lara Logan's investigation into a drug super cartel, plus an eye-opening report on America's top college football programs. Only tonight on 60 Minutes, and only on CBS. Second down and 11. Again, McGahee hurt his knee a little bit earlier. Questionable return, and so Hillman now, who had a 5-yard touchdown run last week against Carolina, is in there, second and 11. Hillman tripped up on the play by Sharice Wright. It is a catch and run of 4 up to the 38.
And here's what you can expect with Willis McGahee out of the game. Hellman is not as good in pass protection. So what they're going to do is try to get him out of the backfield, throw the ball to him a little bit more, and try to get him out in the passing game. If he's forced to have to stay in pass protection, you may see him come out of the game, and they'll put someone else in.
With Jammer out, Sharice Wright is seeing the snaps now in the secondary for the Chargers, 3rd and 7.
Hurry!
The blitz by Wright. The throw by Manning. Demarius Thomas. Brought down on the play by Melvin Ingram, the rookie. An 18-yard catch and run down to the San Diego 44.
See, and Lance Ball comes in, Kevin. Watch him pick up the blitzer right here. See, that's why they bring him in for Hellman. That protection provides Peyton Manning opportunity to get the ball down the field to Thomas. Everything starts with protection first, and then the passing game can click.
Ball in the backfield, 1st and 10. Lance Ball. Good tackle right there by Kaysen. It is a gain of 4 down to about the 40-yard line of the Chargers.
Now, they ran the ball with Ball that time. I believe if you're the San Diego Chargers, when Ball is in there, you expect it to be a pass play. a run play. And then I think when Hellman is in, they want to get him involved in the passing game.
On 2nd down and 6, good block by Ball on the blitz. They're going deep for Decker. Coverage on the play by Wright. Incomplete as we take you to our CBS studios in James.
What a way to come back after a 4-game suspension.
Aqib Talib makes his presence felt right here. Andrew Luck, the ball sails on him. He not only intercepts it, but he shows some return moves. He takes this 59 yards back This came after a Julian Edelman 68-yard punt return, and New England is now up 21-14.
What a debut for the Patriots. Back to Kevin and Solly.
The former Tampa Bay Buccaneer with the pick. Here's a 3rd and 6 by Manning. That's caught, dropped, maybe loose. Antoine Barnes.
Chargers ball.
It is, because Lance Ball,
The ball never hit the ground.
is the one to cough it up. A lot of moving parts on this on the 3rd and 6. Watch it again.
Watch this one, Kevin. The ball never hits the ground. It'll come up. Ball has it, but watch the collision, then the rake.
The
See,
ruling
ball
on the
out
field
right
is the
there.
catch was complete and then fumbled. That fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
How about the Chargers defense? Look at the aggressive rake right there. Is that Barnes ripping it out right there?
It is.
Now, if you're the
Barnes
Denver
got it.
Broncos, do you say that the knee was down?
Well, if there's anything that's been a burr in the side of the Broncos, it's been the fumbles, and that was reviewed, as all turnovers are. It was a fumble. Butler stripped it. Antoine Barnes got it. 1st and 10. Rivers and his offense at their 37. Rivers has thrown an interception. A lot of punts by the offense today. Ryan Matthews will bring it up, and DJ Williams is there coming off a 9-game suspension to make the stop. A gain of 2 to the 39.
Go back and take a look at the play, just in case you're wondering. It was Donald Butler who made the strip 58 right there. Knee is not down on the ground, as you can see there, and the ball comes out. So that ball's live. It's going to be kicked up and then still recovered by a member of the San Diego Chargers defense. It's just an excellent play. It's now the second time they forced a turnover. 1 interception returned by a touchdown, and now Butler forces a fumble.
On 2nd down and 8 for Phillip Rivers. Over the head, incomplete. Ryan Matthews, and there was coverage by Williams and Bannon. It'll be 3rd down and 8. This is the 7th possession, Solomon, for the Chargers. 6 punts and a pick.
Well, this offense has struggled. They only have 1 first down to show in the previous 6 possessions. They are 0 for 5 on 3rd down. Now facing 3rd and 8, trying to convert their first 3rd down of the game.
Math a little off. 5 punts and a pick. 3rd down and 8. 6 defensive backs for Denver. Play clock, I think, had gone down.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, this offense is struggling today. And normally we see a Phillip Rivers-led offense able to put points on the board, especially early in ball games. Where they struggled has been in the second half and mainly in the 4th quarter of ball games. So they have gotten off to a very poor start. We told you 0 first down since 14 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter.
They only have 32 yards offense.
Wow, that's struggling big time.
It's 3rd and 13. They need the 47. Here comes Ayers. It's caught by Green, the tight end. Looking for the dive. Leonard is the one to get him. 12-yard catch and run. Looks to be shy by about a yard.
Well, one of the reasons why they've struggled is because of this. Constant pressure on the quarterback. He's forced to dump it off. They can't even challenge this defense by throwing the ball down the field. North Turner's not going to call any shot plays where they're going deep because I don't think he believes the protection for Phillip Rivers can hold up, because they're constantly nipping at the heels of Rivers, and he's constantly having to get rid of the ball very quickly.
Cypress with his 6th punt. Holiday will let it kick into the end zone. Another touchback in the Broncos, and Peyton Manning will begin at their 20. 54-yard punt. Manning has thrown a touchdown and thrown a pick 6. That'd be a pretty good assignment today, shooting shots like that. McGahee is out. We don't know if he's going to return for Denver.
And he's, I think, helped the run game and helped give this offense great balance so far in the game. They're going to need him when it's all said and done.
Rookie Hillman will take his place. He picks up a block there, and on 1st and 10, it's a 36-year-old Brandon Stokely catch at the 26-yard line, gain of 6.
Brandon Stokely has a great a feel for the game as any wide receiver I've ever seen play. And I think it allows him to play at a high level. It certainly allows him to play at the age of 36. That's why he's still in the game.
And Manning's 36.
High football IQ can take you a long way, Kevin.
2nd down and 4. Gilman wrapped up. Phillips was right there to make the stop. Gain of 2 to about the 28-yard line.
And we talked about the balance provided by the running game for the Denver Broncos. So far, 82 yards rushing in this game, 100 yards passing. Real good mix, keeping this San Diego Chargers defense off balance. Had it not been for the turnovers early on, boy, you wonder what the score would be. The reason why the Chargers are in this ball game down by 3 is because they are able to go out and create turnovers. In fact, they've been able to score themselves with the pick 6.
Bench ball in the backfield, 3rd and 2 for Manning. Here comes the pressure. There goes the throw. Tucker can't hold on. Coverage by Wright. And it's a 3 and out for Manning's Denver offense.
Reese Wright is a rookie out of USC. This is just excellent coverage against Decker. Look at Peyton Manning. See, if he has to move, the ball's not as accurate as well. He's got to throw that ball maybe in an area where Decker has to fight to get it. He drops this ball, and I should say Wright is a 2nd-year player out of USC. But yeah, Peyton Manning believes Decker should have come down with that one, but Decker had to really work to come back and dive and lay out for that one.
Colquitt will punt. Gleason is back for the San Diego Chargers. They catch signal 4 and allotted at the 29-yard line. 42-yard punt. Well, in honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the NFL will donate $100 to each of its non-profit partners, the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, the Wounded Warrior Project. And to join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. We've had a wonderful series of tributes all over the NFL to the men and women of our armed forces. Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 30.
Ain't hot! Set, green 90! Green hot!
Ryan Matthews, nothing there. Boy, they block it. Up the front side, Vickerson makes the stop on a gain of a yard.
Oh, it's hard for Phillip Rivers to do anything against this ravenous Denver Broncos defense. Running for his life. He's being hit, hurried, and harassed, forced to get rid of the ball early. And then, even when the pressure isn't there, he's feeling the pressure, throwing interceptions. And right now, this offense is going nowhere fast. In their 7 possessions so far in this game, they've had to punt it 6 times. The only time when they didn't punt was when Rivers threw the interception.
And the touchdown for San Diego came on a deflected pass of Manning that Weddle got, returned 23 for the touchdown. It's 2nd down and 9. Blitz was on outside. Denario Alexander. What a catch. 39-yard line coverage on the play by Carter. Pickup of 8. They just signed him a month ago.
Watch Carter. Carter nearly gets to this one. And this is a tight window. It's just a great catch by Alexander. Watch the break on the ball by Carter. Oh, you love the way he plays. You just feel like if that was a hair behind Alexander, Carter's going to pick that one off, and he may return it for a touchdown. When you go after him, Kevin, you better be really careful. What did Fox call him? Sticky man? Even though Alexander gets the catch, he had to work for it.
Jackie Battle in the backfield on 3rd down and 1. Blocked by Battle. Here comes Ayers. There goes Rivers. And a flag is down. Incomplete to McMichael, although Battle was there as well. Flag has been thrown at the 3:25 mark of the 2nd quarter here in Denver.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 20, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And this will be San Diego's first down since 14 minutes left in the 1st quarter. Adams was guilty.
Oh, Adams gives them a 1st down here. Yep, you can see it. You can see it right here. Here's the hold right there. Boy, you know, this one thing. Antonio Gates over the middle of the field in the red zone. He still gives defenders fits. He still can beat you Yeah, he's not going to get deep on you, but over the middle of the field and inside the red zone, he can get open.
First and 10, Ryan Matthews. Hit by Adams. Well, going back, that's a gain of 3. And we can tell you coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company with scores, highlights, and all the news from a very busy pre-Thanksgiving NFL weekend, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. You know, opposing tight ends have given this Denver defense some problems just last week as we see a player down, and that is Vasquez, the guard. But last week, Olsen for Carolina had 9 receptions and a couple of touchdowns against this Bronco D, a tight end.
A lot of safeties around the National Football League, not just here in Denver, do struggle to defend down the field, particularly against these athletic tight ends we're seeing around the National Football League, and I don't think they're any better than Antonio Gates.
There's Gates. In fact, the week before, it was Gresham of Cincinnati who had 100 yards. Olsen last week had 102. And they've had Graham at New Orleans, Gates earlier on, Gronkowski at New England. They've all had some success against this Bronco defense. The new guard will be Rex Hadnot. He's jumped around the NFL, starter in Arizona and Miami, taking the place of the injured Vasquez for North Trinity. Wants to make sure he's got it all down. 2nd down and 7. Good time. Matthews. Wrapped up by DJ Williams to pick up a 3. Solomon out to midfield.
And now they'll be faced with another 3rd down play. This is where the offense has stalled. 3rd and 4. Of course, they were able to convert the other one by virtue of a penalty that afforded them only their 2nd first down of the ball game. They're still 0 for 6 on 3rd downs. Trying to avoid going 0 for 7 here on 3rd and 4. For Phillip Rivers, what do you want to do? I think isolation with Antonio Gates over the middle of the field, particularly if you can get Gates against a linebacker or safety.
Lonnie Brown in motion, 3rd down and 4. The blitz. Miller, down goes Rivers. That's the first sack. Miller tumbling his way to his 11th sack this season, number 2 in the NFL, all the way back to the 36.
Rivers is hot, Kevin, simply because he's trying to slide the line to pick up on Miller. They don't slide, they allow Miller to come free. He gets sacked, and he is livid.
Well, the Denver defense leads the NFL in sacks coming into this week, and Miller is right at the top of the list. Here's the punt. Oh, it's blocked! It's blocked on the play by Irving. For the 2nd consecutive week, the San Diego Chargers have had a punt blocked. And this time, Irving comes through, gets the ball. Lance Ball is the one to retrieve it, but Irving is the one to block it for Denver.
He came off the right side, and it was the right side that allowed the punt block last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the one where they blocked it and returned it for a touchdown. So for the 2nd consecutive week, as you mentioned, Kevin, the right side of the protection fails the punter, Cyphers.
Now here's the problem. He injured that right ankle last week because of the block. He may have re-injured it here. Injury timeout, 1:51. As we said before, 2nd consecutive week that Cyphers has had 1 block. They had 4 blocks on this San Diego punter 2 years ago. Now Novak would be the one if Cyphers can't go to punt the rest of the game. So some interesting maneuvering now for the special teams of the Chargers. But this brings us to Manning with the block punt by Irving from the 31-yard line of San Diego. Going down, he's got Stokely. That is a Denver touchdown. How do you like that?
This is quintessential Peyton Manning. You get inside 2 minutes before the half, he will take a shot. And there you see, here's Stokely right here in the slot. He's going to get out here. Look at that. And they bite. That's Sharice Wright, the 2nd-year player out of USC. He bit on Decker's move, and Stokely was able to sneak behind him. 36-year-old, but he can still get deep. 5th receiving touchdown so far this season.
Peyton Manning is the number 1 rated passer coming into today, and it's Stokely grabbing this one, his 5th touchdown reception of the season.
I love the way he regained control of the ball. He made sure he stayed in bounds. Those are the ones that's easy to drop, Kevin. You have to wait an eternity for the ball to arrive.
Stokely's played in the Super Bowl with Baltimore. His dad was a football coach, so he's come up the right way, knowing all the things about the game. And here's the extra point try now by Prater. We talked to Stokely on Friday. Chance at 36, he said, to be in a team like this. That tacks on one more. He said, you just don't get many opportunities to make great seasons. It was a block punt by Irving. And then Manning smells blood and finds Stokely on a 31-yard touchdown pass. 17-7 Broncos. Couple 36-year-olds combining on that pass for a touchdown. Manning and Stokely.
You talk about complimentary football. Don't you get that from the Denver Broncos?
Yes.
We told you playing well in all three phases of the game. They caught that spark week 6 against San Diego, and they have not turned back. Peyton Manning now getting it going. We see them running the ball. The defense with Von Miller's phenomenal. Then special teams gets in on the act, blocking the punt to set up the touchdown pass to Stokely.
So Denver has scored 17 unanswered points. Manning has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Stokely just hauled that one in from 31. And here's the ensuing kickoff by Prater, who has had 21 kickoffs here at Invesco that have resulted in a touchback. Last week, Phil Simms questioned if Eli Manning was an elite quarterback, and this week, it's Luck versus Brady in the spotlight on NFL Monday QB tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Now, this puts more pressure on Phillip Rivers, now down by 7. They know that he's got to throw it to get back into this ball game, but patience is going to be required of North Turner and this offense.
1st and 10, Ronnie Brown wrapped up, taken down that time by Danny Trevathan. He is a rookie out of Kentucky, led the Southeastern Conference in tackles a year ago, loss of 1.
Well, let's go back and take a look at that sack on the last play. I'm going to show you why he doesn't trust this offensive line. See, he's saying slide it out, kick it out to the right. Don't allow Von Miller to come free. But do they slide right? No. Jeremy Clary doesn't pay attention to Miller. They don't slide right. Watch how livid Phillip Rivers is. He said, I told you slide right. You got to block him.
Ronnie Brown on 2nd down and 11. Champ Bailey, the 11-time Pro Bowler, was there. A gain of a yard. Timeout taken by the San Diego Chargers with 1:08 to play in the first half.
First timeout, San Diego. A 30-second timeout.
Well, we began the broadcast today telling you that this is like a playoff game for the Chargers.
Please set the game
because
clock for 1:11.
Well, Jeffers wants to get in here because if San Diego loses this game, there'll be 3 games back at Denver. They'll have lost the tiebreaker. Denver will have that, in essence, a 4-game lead. But if the Chargers would win, they'd be within a single game of Denver. They would strengthen their position in the AFC wildcard race, but right now it is not looking good.
This game means everything for both teams. I really mean that. For the Denver Broncos to build on the momentum gained by that Week 6 comeback, and for the San Diego Chargers, your season is right here, right now, here in Denver.
Denver is the one that called the timeout. Initially, they said San Diego. 3rd and 10, they get it on Cleary. But that is caught by Green. 2nd reception today. Tackle made by Bruton. Among others, a 9-yard reception to the 29.
Denver, a 30-second timeout.
Denver's 2nd timeout. 1 left. And here comes Cyphers. He's going to come back out there. This kid is tough. That's what Norv Turner told us earlier in the week. He is a tough player.
And a little psycho, too. You know, just a little.
He must be.
Got to be a little different now, because we've seen him take some whacks over the last couple of weeks. Last week on the block in Tampa, he was laid out just as much as he was today. So, yeah, he's a tough kid. But, boy, this San Diego Chargers team needs a spark. They did nothing on that possession. You would have thought that with 1:44 to go, when they got the football back, that they would have tried to launch the ball down the field. But we talked about they don't trust the offensive line. Let's see here if the protection can hold up.
Well, gets a little breathing space right there, and Holiday on a bounce at the 16. Tackle, he's right, a fumble perhaps. Let's see what they rule. Was he down? And that is what the side judge has signaled with 52 seconds to play. Bad right ankle, 2 consecutive block punts in as many weeks.
Let's see. Knee down, knee down. And I want to get to the point that, 0 for 8, the Chargers are on third down now. This Broncos defense, they held Carolina to 0 for 12 on third down last week. So how about this, 0 for 20 on the last third down plays by this Broncos defense.
Manning 1st and 10. That's caught by Tammy, who is hit by Weddle. Also assisting was Bigby. It's a gain of 8 on the play. Up to the 34, yards shy of the first. No McGahee since he injured the knee earlier in the game. And they're thinking about what Prater might be able to do from distance. Second down, short 2, and they blow that dead in the ensuing conference.
False start, number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That is Manny
In lieu of a
Ramirez,
10-second
who
runoff,
is starting
Denver
at
has elected to use their third and final charge timeout.
right guard.
A 30-second timeout.
So Denver now out of timeouts. And the target line for Prater, he's got the big league leg, as we've told you before, his career-long 59. And you got to get to the 40, as you see.
Yep, that
41.
41-yard line with the altitude. It can carry here.
He tried a 64-yarder, but at the other end of the field, and nailed that in pregame. He had about 5 yards to work with. So he's used to it. Visiting kickers love coming to Mile High here.
And Peyton Manning loves getting points on the board, the final possession of each half.
Hurry, hurry!
Second down and 6. Good block by Cope in the center. Demarius Thomas. Brought down by Antoine Pearson. That's a gain of 12. Put him at the 41-yard line. The clock continues to tick. Denver out of timeouts. They'll spike it. Second down and 10 coming up.
They got a chance to get a shot here, but
Maybe.
do they have a chance to get a shot down the middle of the field and spike it? I don't think so with 14 seconds. They'll have to make a play down the field, but on the sideline, because wherever you get the ball, you got to get out of bounds to stop the clock, because as you mentioned, Denver, they're out of timeouts.
Second down and 10. Underneath, ball.
See, that's smart.
48.
That's smart. If you can let them catch it, but let them catch it over the middle of the field.
There's a gain of 10. They're slow getting the ball in. Look at that. And that was
The end of the first
the
half.
crew from the sideline. They had trouble getting the ball spotted.
Smart defense.
That's the end of the first half. Manning a couple touchdown passes. They lead by 10. You're watching CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. The Denver Broncos trying to expand their lead in the AFC West. Some of your first half thoughts.
Well, I thought the defense has got off to a great start for both teams. Of course, the San Diego Chargers were able to get a pick six and get their team on the board. But then, of course, Peyton Manning would get it going. Peyton Manning got off to a slow start in this game. Ball tipped by Gilchrist, picked off by Eric Weddle. That got the Chargers on the board. But then the Broncos special teams got in on the act. The block punt, and then a shot 31 yards down the field to Brandon Stokely. Peyton Manning, 2 touchdown passes in the first half. The offense is rolling, but I tell you, boy, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers offense, they are struggling mightily in this ball game so far. 0 for 8 on third down is the Chargers on offense. You can see these are 2 teams going in opposite directions.
The Broncos won the opening flip. They deferred. They'll take it here. As you can see,
It's an onside
it
kick,
sure
and it looks
was,
like the Chargers got it.
As they try to work a extra possession. And let's see who might be at the bottom of that pile. Irving is 56, is at the very bottom for
How about this? An official's
Denver.
down there. He's scrapping for the ball to really see who got it. Looks like the Chargers going to come away with this one, Kevin. Wow. That's right, stealing a possession away from Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. If you're ever going to beat a Peyton Manning-led football team, You have to find a way to steal possessions. You've got to maintain ball control to keep him on the sideline. This is one way of going about it.
Carl Jeffers.
The ruling on the field is a successful onside kick recovered by the kicking team. Please reset the game clock to 14:56.
There you see, here's the kick. Right here. Oh, the ball started to fall off the tape before he nailed it. And it did go 10 yards before it was touched by a San Diego Charger. There you see, ball started to roll. Now it's 10 yards. Tammy had a chance to get it stuck. He comes away with it.
San Diego from the 49 of Denver, 1st and 10.
Wow.
Intended for Denario Alexander out of the University of Missouri.
He was wide open, Kevin. Phillip Rivers is feeling the pressure, even when it's not there. Watch how he'll rush this throw. See right now? See, no way that ball should be at the feet of the intended receiver. Go ahead and take a look. Go ahead and roll it. And you're going to see there he is coming across the middle of the field. Right there. There's Alexander, wide open. And Rivers is known for making those kind of easy completions. I think the pressure that he's been under all day is starting to get to him.
Looking in the nickel, 2nd down and 10. Ryan Matthews brought down by DJ Williams. It's a loss of 2, back to the 48.
This defense is just too good. They don't give you a lot of opportunities, but you love the way. Look at DJ Williams. You love the way these linebackers are active. We showed you how they can hit, hurry, and harass the quarterback, but their ability to penetrate and shut down your running game has been phenomenal. No 3rd down conversions allowed in their last 23 opponent possessions. They're pitching a shutout for over 2 games.
7 defensive backs, 3rd and 12. He's hit by Miller. The ball is free. It's reeled in by Rex Hadnot, taking the place of the injured Luis Vasquez. Some shoving after the play. Ayers and Ronnie Brown. Another punt coming up. 2nd sack here for Denver.
Look at Clary, the right tackle. He's struggling against Von Miller. I mean, he couldn't keep Von Miller from getting to the quarterback. They are going to have to give him help.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the fumbling team. 4th down.
That is Wolf. Derek Wolf, the rookie 2nd-round pick out of Cincinnati. Now a starter on the line. Injury timeout in 13:46 in the 3rd. Derek Wolf is on the sideline, walking off under his own power, drafted because he was such a good pass rusher. Cypress to punt. Leonard is deep back for the Denver Broncos and lets that go into the end zone. Oh, no, it won't. He has nice English and recovered on the play by Stuckey. Nice punt by Cypress, a 55-yard punt for the San Diego Punters.
Take a look at some NFL head coaches who did even better in their second stint. Bill Belichick won 3 Super Bowls in New England after enduring losing records in 4 of his last 5 seasons in Cleveland. Tom Coughlin was .500 in his final 3 years in Jacksonville, then won Super Bowls in New York. John Gruden won a Super Bowl in his first year in Tampa following 4 seasons with the Raiders. John Fox has already, Kevin, taken the Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl. Now, with Peyton Manning as his quarterback, he could be joining us on CBS in New Orleans for Super Bowl 47. I think John Fox got something going here in Denver.
Shammer back in as a quarterback for San Diego. He was out part of that first half. Here's a 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Ronnie Hillman. No gain on the play, taking the place of the injured Willis McGahee for the Broncos.
This is where the Broncos have to be careful. You see Butler taking a knee there, Kevin. Number 56, he's telling the official, you may have to send someone to come get me. He's not feeling quite 100%.
He is one of the better inside linebackers in the NFL, 3rd-year player out of Washington. 3rd-round draft choice, leading tackler for Denver's defense, which comes into today number 7. That might surprise some people with the record of 4-5 coming into today, that they're the 7th-ranked defense in the league.
The problem hasn't been defense, and you've already seen them. They've had 2 takeaways to add to their 17 coming into today's game. They forced more turnovers than the Denver Broncos defense. So this is a formidable defense. As you mentioned, ranked top 10. John Pagano, the defense coordinator, I think has done a marvelous job of getting this defense to play at a very high level. It has been the turnovers on offense that has undermined this football team. And now in recent weeks, the blocked punts, the special teams has failed the San Diego Chargers, but the defense, boy, has been lights out.
You saw John Pagano. He is the brother of Chuck Pagano, the Colts head coach, being treated for leukemia.
And he's from nearby Boulder, Colorado.
Sure is.
Back home.
2nd and 10. Here comes Phillips, and down goes Manning. That's a safety. Sean Phillips comes right through with his 6th sack, which leads the Chargers, and they get Manning in the end zone for 2.
I told you they had to be careful, Kevin. Look at that. He beats him right underneath. Just comes right underneath the tight end, Virgil Green. They free up Phillips. They put him on the tight end, and he beats Virgil Green right away. This is a game-changing play. We told you this defense was lights out, and I think the play made there by Sean Phillips is Exhibit A. They can make some plays. That's as good as a turnover with points.
That's only the 15th sack, and the San Diego defense ranks number 28 in sacks. They have not gotten to the quarterback, but boy, it comes at an opportune time right there when they get Manning in the end zone, and down he went.
Phenomenal play. They are coming out and doing as much as they can to help this San Diego Chargers offense. They get the onside kick, give Phillip Rivers a short field, they go 3 and out. Now the defense put even more points on the board. They already have the pick 6 for 7 points. Now they have the 9 points that you see San Diego has. All 9 have been scored by the Chargers defense.
How good has this offensive line of Denver been? That is only the 12th sack that they have surrendered. That is tied for number 1 with Houston for the least allowed. Only the 2nd sack Manning has had in 16 quarters, and the subsequent punt after the safety, Kaysen will take it. Irving, along with an avalanche of Bronco defenders, make the stop, and it's a 16-yard return. Tuesday on CBS, CY America has made Vegas TV's #1 news show this season. Tuesday, only on CBS. Trevathan was in on that stop as well. Look at Norv Turner. He is under a lot of pressure.
Well, he understands that it's now or never, because all the points have been scored by the defense. Excellent field position by the offense, and they have not been able to take advantage of it.
1st and 10. Out of the reach of the running back, Matthews. Rivers was jacked on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Now Matthews got to get to that location. Once he comes out here, get your head around quick. You don't have all day. The pressure is immense on Phillip Rivers. Expect the ball to come. As you can see, pressure on Rivers. Told you he's been hit, hurried, and harassed. That jersey's getting plenty dirty today.
With Wolf out on the line, Bannon and others are in there on 2nd down and 10. Matthews, Bannon, 97, makes the stop. It is a gain of 5 and just beyond the 40.
You know, they would love to take some shots down the field, as we told you. They're trying to design some plays that allow them to get some yards by the chunks. That's what Rivers and this Chargers offense is used to doing. But you can't call up those kind of plays when your offensive line, particularly your right tackle, Jeremy Clary, is struggling to block Von Miller. So they have to throw it quick and hope that they can get beyond the sticks to create a 1st down.
5 defensive backs, Brown in the backfield, 3rd down and 5. Miller was blocked. Incomplete. They were going for Gates. The coverage on the play by Chris Harris, who has been terrific over the last 5 starts. 3 and out. San Diego's got a punt.
There you see pressure here, pressure coming off the top. Ball's got to come out quick. And there you see the coverage. Harris on the coverage, but there's the pressure there. Well, it still was a good throw, but better coverage on the back end by Harris.
Another Charger punt. Cyphers fields a high snap here from Aaron, and there it goes to Holiday. 59-yard punt from Cyphers. We're in the third, 17-9 Broncos. After the 10th punt by San Diego in 11 possessions today, Manning has it 1st and 10 at the 20. Underneath. And they find Stokely, and on the play picks up 6. Wednesday in primetime, JB, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth showcase America's favorite game with their own unique style. It's Inside the NFL Wednesday on Showtime. 2nd down and 4.
Oh, there, hey, go! Hurry!
Look from the side, dropped on the play, had it. Tari Bigby was on him, the ex-Green Bay Packer. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, you can see there's playmakers all over this San Diego Chargers defense. You love Atari Bigby, having won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. Look at him close, hit, and rake, and get the ball out. Now, that's just good physical play, good pursuit angle, an excellent wrap-up on the tackle.
San Diego is 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 4 for Manning. Ball at his side.
26! Hurry!
Good block by Orlando Franklin, the right tackle. That is a catch made by Decker. The stick by Gilchrist. Gain of 3, close to a 1st down, but maybe shy by a couple inches.
Yeah, I think Gilchrist able to keep Decker from advancing his ball. Look, one hit and man down.
You're right.
You're right. Short. That 1st down mark.
Got a punt.
Boy, John Pagano's group, they're bringing it. I can tell you right now, because they're not getting any help from their offense. The special teams has been a double agent. They've turned on them. And the defense is keeping this game close.
You say a double agent?
Yeah, playing for the other team.
I like that. Colquitt once again to punt. Number 2 in net punting in the NFL this season after a record-setting 2011 Kaysen from the 15 for the Chargers. He gets by Bruton. Oh, and then he is manhandled on the play. And nice special teams tackle by reserve tight end Virgil Green. 9-yard return. Here comes Phillip Rivers. Tough day at the office. We're in the 3rd. San Diego Chargers on offense this afternoon. Just 2 first downs and a horrible resume on offense. One of those first downs by penalty. 1st and 10 from the 24 for Phillip Rivers. Ryan Matthews slowed up by Dumerville. Down he goes with Adams falling on him. Gain of 5 to the 28.
Take a look at this, Kevin. 11 possessions, 10 punts, including 6 consecutive 3-and-outs, and only 1 drive where they had more than 3 plays on offense. That's futile, and that's being very nice. We're being polite, aren't we? And normally you don't get this from a North Turner's offense. Now, we know this Broncos defense is good, but give me a break.
Going from this guy. 2nd down and 5. Matthews again. Vasquez with the block, and outside Matthews. This is something they've lacked most of the season. Harris shoves him out of bounds. A gallop of 11, a 1st down to the 40-yard line.
Matthews, we talked about the fact that he needs to be able to give him something. He'll come here. They seal the edge. Look at the block by Gates, block by Floyd on the edge, and then Matthews able to get to the corner. And we talk about this offense every week when we see them. No offense has been good over the last 8 years, where this offense has averaged 25 points a game for 8 consecutive seasons. So certainly they've played so much better under Phillip Rivers and North Turner.
On 1st and 10, Matthews digs his way into the grasp of Woodyard. It is a gain of 4 to the 44-yard line, and get coverage of every game on the go with NFL Mobile. For $5 a month, watch live streaming of every touchdown with NFL Red Zone, as well as NFL Network's 24/7 coverage. Call ** NFL to download, or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. It's second down and 6.
180! 85! 390!
Matthews again. Vasquez trying to cut over. Gain of 2. The dive to about the 46. Hit by a couple. Wolf is still out. Unrein is playing on the defensive line for the Broncos on this series.
And we talk about how futile, and we showed the numbers with the San Diego Chargers offense. I think it starts up front with the offensive line. Yes, they're missing Jared Gaither, but this is an offensive line that I think has started to go in decline over the last couple of years. And I think clearly today they are struggling against this defensive front for Denver.
The left side retired because of injury. McNeil and Dielman have been trying to fill that ever since. They were Pro Bowlers. Brown in the backfield, 3rd and 4. Down he goes again. Von Miller. It's picked up by Woodyard. He's brought down by Floyd. Another turnover. The Broncos do it again.
Yeah, they do it again. They did it to Cam Newton last week, and they're doing it to Phillip Rivers. Here's Von Miller. Never sees him coming from that blind side. He beats Clary right away, Kevin. He's able to not only get the fumble, he gets the sack. And when we talk to John Fox, we try to get him to compare him to someone. He says, I don't like comparisons. There you see him right there. The head goes down of Clary, and he loses sight of Von Miller. Comparing him to the all-time great Lawrence Taylor, and on a play like that, when he already has 3 sacks in this game, I think the comparison has to fit.
I see a lot of Derek Thomas in it.
Wow.
The late Derek Thomas.
Either way, it ends up in Canton.
Absolutely. Good point.
20!
Manning 1st and 10. Goes it away. Demarius Thomas was in the vicinity. The coverage on the play by Kaysen. 2nd down and 10 for Manning.
His offense, we talked to Peyton Manning, and we talked earlier in the first half about the lack of chemistry, the going through the growing pains. And as good as this team has been, I think that's one area where they still have to get better. If they're going to make a run deep into the playoffs, the chemistry is going to have to come together and gain more consistency in the passing game.
McGee, we've just been told, is out for the game. Hillman will take his place, the rookie. 2nd down and 10. Blocked. Gilchrist. He did that earlier, deflected the ball, which Weddle then returned for 23 and a touchdown and a pick 6. He knocks one down, plays volleyball with the Manning pass again.
Well, he nearly intercepts this one. You'll see him coming from right here. Look at that. He almost catches this one red hot. So close to it, almost stabs that one. If he catches it, Denver Broncos then will give up more points on turnover.
Whoops. Phillips.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Sean Phillips is beside himself. He says, I know better than to fall for the hard count.
3rd and 10 now becomes 3rd and 5. Play clock at 3.
We're not going to get it.
Timeout, Manning.
Smart.
Calls the
First charge
timeout.
timeout, Denver.
2 left for the Broncos on the move with a recovery and 7:31 in the 3rd. Manning had to call a timeout. Here's a 3rd and 5. Watch for Decker. He's a great red zone receiver. They're just on the outskirts, as you can see, almost at the 20. Ball picks up the blitz. Manning, Decker, touchdown.
You called it, Kevin. Decker is the weapon of choice for Peyton Manning down inside the red zone. And it starts with ball and protection. We told you, when he's in the game, look at the block there. That buys extra time for Manning. He comes back to Decker, after looking around. And look at Decker, nose for the end zone, giving up the body to get it into the end zone for a touchdown. Just great play. Started with the protection, the quarterback surveying the field, the catch and run by Decker.
Back on another. Manning has thrown 3 touchdown passes today after early on he had a pick 6. He's come back and his Broncos on top 24-9.
Well, you could just see. And then here's Decker. It's going to be, I think Decker's here at the slot right there. Now watch him run around. You're going to see he's going to try to unleash. No, Decker's at the top. I'm sorry. See him coming in, working his way across the field right now. Decker lined up outside as opposed to in the slot. And sooner or later, Peyton Manning finds him. Tammy lifts the coverage. Decker comes underneath. And there was a breakdown in coverage. The coverage can only hold up so long. The protection held up with ball picking up the blitzer, and then coverage would break down on the back end.
So Manning has thrown touchdown passes of 13 to Thomas, of 31 yards to Stokely, and a 20-yard catch and run for Decker. Decker with his 8th touchdown reception of the season.
Denver Broncos football team, they get it going. And all these wide receivers, and Peyton Manning says it's been fun watching them grow. But they're still working in terms of understanding the chemistry needed between quarterback and wide receiver. And they're learning on the fly. They're learning from one of the best in their quarterback, Peyton Manning. And we're seeing these guys have a breakout year, Demaryius Thomas and both Eric Decker.
Later again with a kick out of the end zone, a touchback, and so it'll go to the 20 for Phillip Rivers and the San Diego offense. Thursday, a Thanksgiving Day tradition continues when Matt Schaub and the Texans tangle with Matthew Stafford and the Lions. It all begins with JB, Dan, Coach Shannon, and Boomer Esiason on a special holiday edition of the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines. Hope you'll join us. A lot of people are traveling in airports all over the country watching our broadcast today. We wish you all a very happy and healthy and safe Thanksgiving week. Touchback to the 21st and 10, Phillip Rivers. Ryan Matthews blocked by Hadnot, who is back in again at that guard. It is a gain of 7. Push him to the 27-yard line.
How do you come back in a game like this, Kevin, when the offensive line is failing and struggling? The last time they had the ball, they didn't punt it. Their quarterback was hit, sacked, stripped, and fumbled. And that gave the Broncos the ball on a short field in which they turned it to a touchdown.
Hadnot is now in for Tyrone Green, the left guard, before Hadnot was taking the place of the injured Vasquez at the right guard. Second down, 3, Rivers. Floyd holding on for dear life is Woodyard. It is a gain of 10. It is a San Diego first down to the 37.
How about that? They pick up their 4th first down of the game, flipping it out to the wide receiver.
This offense misses Vincent Jackson in so many ways.
Well, and we talked about this before. They've had players who have defected via free agency. How about Michael Turner now plays in Atlanta? Darren Sproles, I think, is a guy they certainly could have afforded to keep and would do tremendous in terms of helping their quarterback, Phillip Rivers.
Matthews a block, 1st and 10. That opens the door. And that is Denario Alexander with the catch. Carter makes the tackle. 15-yard pickup to the 48 of the Broncos.
How about Alexander fighting for the ball in coverage? Protection did hold up this time. Look at block by Ryan Matthews. Tight coverage on the back end by Carter. What it, of course, we said that we talked to John Fox about Carter, called him Sticky Man. He's had a great season as we take a look at the numbers for Alexander.
In what will be only the 3rd play running Bronco territory today. Rivers 1st and 10 has to heave it away. Looking for Alexander, coverage by Chris Harris.
Receiver number 84 in the area. 2nd down.
You know, coverage sometimes helps. And take a look at the coverage here. There's nowhere to go ahead and roll it. There's nowhere to go with the football for Phillip Rivers. Even though the protection holds up, look, every man plastered here, plastered there, and plastered down there. So Phillip Rivers has to throw the ball away. Remember, Rivers isn't very mobile, can't extend plays to allow receivers to break away from coverage. He has to throw the ball away in that situation.
Second down and 10. The block by Harris, the left tackle, buying time, but nobody home. McMichael was close. Ayers was defending.
No intentional grounding. Receiver number 81 in the area. Third down.
He was in the area. Phillip Rivers now faced with a 3rd and 10. And he has to leave the huddle saying, block Von Miller. If you can block Von Miller, we may have a shot at converting a 3rd and 10 into a first down.
The thing is about Rivers, he was an elite quarterback from 06 to 10. It's been the last 2 years where things have really leveled off for him.
They really have.
Brown in the backfield, 3rd and 10 for Rivers. Good block by Hadnot. That's a first down toss. Floyd working on Champ Bailey. 16-yard pickup. First down to the 33 of Denver.
And they did block Von Miller on that play. Miller's going to come in late here. And look how much attention Ronnie Brown, everyone's over there blocking Von Miller. And if you can get him blocked and see, you have a chance to go ahead and convert it. And they tried to sneak him in there late, moved and changed his alignment. Clary has him. Got Ronnie Brown over there paying attention to him.
On this drive, Rivers is at Floyd for 10 and 16. He hit Alexander on a 15-yard first down throw. Here's a first down handoff. It goes to Matthews. Dumerville jumps on his back. Bailey tripped him up. Gain of 2. We take you to New York, and here's James Brown.
New England getting it done a variety of ways.
Yeah, the second pick 6 of the day. Here you see Alfonso Denard step in front. 87 yards later, pick 6. 45-17, New England in total control of this game.
Just underway in the 4th. Back to Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Luck has thrown most of his interceptions on the road, as he's doing today.
On the road, and I think the Patriots are going to be a better secondary after trading for Aqib Talib.
Second down, 8. Gates leaving his way. Dumerville jumps on his back. It is a gain of 4 to the 26 of Denver.
It's the best drive we've seen all day from the San Diego Chargers offense. That was the 8th play of the drive, 53 yards. They've been able to convert some 3rd down plays. The protection has held up. And Norv Turner says, okay, if we can protect it, we can do better. Now 3rd and 4, the protection's got to hold up again. I believe it starts with identifying and locating Von Miller. That's where you want to slide the line. That's where you want extra protection.
Third down, 4 for Phillip Rivers. He's got his receiver, Robert Meacham, who backpedals his way to the 17. 10-yard pickup, another first down deep in Bronco territory.
How about Rivers? Look at the small window. Watch that. Slide it in. He was able to push down Harris, but Harris got back up. Nearly got a hand in there. See the protection holding up. Rivers steps up. Small window between Carter and Harris for the completion.
Carter made sure he was down. His drive started back at the San Diego 20. First and 10. Johnny Brown. Brought down by Tony Carter with a run to the 12-yard line after the catch and a pickup of 5.
Kevin, if I'm Norv Turner, I'm going to call my plays right now as if I'm going to use 4 downs to get a touchdown. I'm not thinking field goal at all because it doesn't help you. Momentum and everything, all the energy you needed to try to mount a comeback starts with scoring a touchdown here, not settling for a field goal. So even though it's 2nd and 5, I think you got to understand you have 3 more downs as opposed to 2 and attempting the kick.
Second down and 5. Ronnie Brown. Woodyard hit him first. Then he was decked by Ayers. Gain of 4 to the 8.
See, that's why you can run it there, because if you're Norv Turner, you say, I have 2 more downs. I have 3rd down and 4th down if I have to use it to still throw the football. 3rd and 1, he can do either one. He can throw it or he can run it. The protection is held up a little bit better again. Identify Von Miller. Put more pressure on Peyton Manning, understanding this game is not over if you can get a touchdown on this possession.
It's the 12th play of the drive. 3rd and 1. Rivers, touchdown, Denario Alexander. And the Chargers are back in business.
They isolated the 6'5" Denario Alexander against the 5'9". Is that Tony Carter over in the corner? There you see right there. Yes. Little push. Carter saying they pushed me. There you see it right here at the bottom of the screen. Rivers says that's the matchup we want. Height should win. He put it in position where his guy can get it. Was there a slight push off? Yes. Carter understood. He came in knowing that was going to be the situation. Fox said didn't want to put his young corners in a position where their backs would be turned to the quarterback.
Novak puts in the extra point. Floyd with a couple of catches of 10 and 16. Alexander caught one for 15. And then Rivers located him in the end zone on an 8-yard touchdown pass. On the extra point just moments ago after the 8-yard touchdown pass by Rivers, we had some pushing and shoving after the play.
Right there.
Side, yeah.
Yep. Wesley Woodyard taking a shot, and they caught him.
And the penalty flag was thrown on Denver. Thus, the kickoff will come with a 15-yard penalty and positioned at the 50-yard line. Well, we don't want to look too far ahead, but on this very strange pre-Thanksgiving Day NFL weekend, 4 teams that trailed in the 4th quarter have come back to win today. Green Bay, Atlanta, Dallas, and Houston. Could San Diego be the 5th? If indeed we get to the 4th and they're still down. But right now you see 58 seconds remaining in the 3rd, and this is a little pooch kick which is taken by Holiday inside the 5, and he maneuvers out with the Gatchkar tackle at about the 23 and an 18-yard return. Well, we remind you to help victims of disasters like Superstorm Sandy. Text Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. CBS cares. Dusk in the Rockies.
Now Peyton Manning understands critical moment in the ball game. In the waning moments of the 3rd quarter, you got to seize momentum. You can ill afford to go 3 and out. Give the ball back to San Diego with great field position.
On 1st and 10, this is the rookie Hellman finding a gap, and he's off to the races. Sharice Wright gets him from behind it. He pulls something on that run. It was a 19-yard run, and he's coming off the field. Something happened to him.
Look at this. Look at the caping hole, the block down. Boy, they get the seal. Look at the block on the edge. They sealed him off really well, splitting the defense to get Hillman to the 2nd level.
Hillman is being looked at on the sideline. Lance Ball takes his place at the 40, Manning 1st and 10. Lance Ball. Grab it on to him from behind is Cam Thomas, who made the start today for Franklin at the nose tackle. It is a gain of a yard. 8-yard touchdown pass moments ago by Rivers. Manning has thrown 3. Will return to Denver for the 4th quarter. After this, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Your home for Super Bowl 47. We start the 4th quarter. Rivers just threw a touchdown pass late in the 3rd. Bringing things a little bit tighter here. Manning, 2nd down and 9. Treason hit by Wright, grabbed by Gilchrist. It is a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 3 at the 47.
Huge game for both teams, right, Kevin?
It is. First place, Denver. If they win, they lead by 3 games, plus they'd have the tiebreaker. If Denver loses and the Chargers would win, a single game would separate them, and the immediate tiebreaker doesn't come into play.
And both teams know it all too well. We talked to both coaches. They have echoed that to their teams. The Chargers sense that it's all on the line right now.
Good block by Clady at that left tackle. 3rd down and 3. First down throw, Tammy. Bigby was there. Gain of 8. First down to the 46-yard line of San Diego.
Working over to the left side. Tammy matched up against the safety, Atari Bigby. Bigby's in bumper run. Now you've got to win. You can't allow him that inside position across your face. You know, Tammy's a tight end. He's not going to run by you. So if you're going to sit like that, go ahead and take away that inside leverage position. Omaha!
On first down and 10, this is Paul. Blocked by Beadle. Blocked downfield by Thomas. Tackle made by Weddle to the 32. That's a 14-yard gain, and to begin the drive, Hillman, who is injured and still on the sideline, picked up 19, although Hillman coming in as we speak.
Watch number 20, Antoine Casey. This is the moment of truth. Keep your head up. See what you hit. No, you whiff, and Ball's got quick feet. He's able to step right over Casey to convert and pick up the first down. Got to have better tackling in the second down.
And those running back woes all in the wake of losing McGahee to an injury in the first half with a knee. First and 10. Reason, just tackled by Atari Bigby. Brought down by Kaysen. That is Joel Dreesen, the former Texan, a 12-yard catch and run to the 21-yard line of San Diego.
And sometimes it's the small things, Kevin. We already showed you the one missed tackle by Antoine Kaysen. Ball's able to make you miss. And look at Dreesen. Just throw that flipper against Atari Bigby, able to stay in bounds, keep the clock ticking, pick up the first down, and just chew up time and yards. That's how you win football games, sometimes by doing the little things.
Pull, I can see it.
Once more, Kevin.
First and 10. Peyton. Deep into the middle. And it's incomplete. They're looking for Thomas. The coverage by Kaysen. We give you NFL coverage with James in New York.
I love Andrew Luck's never give up attitude.
Oh, you gotta like that, JB. He's gonna find T.Y. Hilton from 43 yards out. And the Indianapolis Colts on the board. New England still leads 45-24.
All right, back to Kevin Harlan. Solomon Wilcox.
Rookie to rookie in Foxborough.
That young team is growing up, and that's going to be a learning experience by going to Gillette Stadium and doing battle with Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Handing on second down and 10. Here they come up the middle, and down he goes. Hit that time by Kendall Reyes. He's the rookie out of UConn. It's the second sack authored today by the Chargers. The loss back to the 29.
Boy, someone needed to make a play. He comes from right over Dan Copen. He's able to get right around him. Look at Copen right there. Number 67, doesn't see him. Just spins around. He's able to get pressure on the quarterback. They needed to make that kind of play against Peyton Manning, who's now facing third and 18.
First Reyes sack of his young career, and that's
giving it back.
Yep. Antonio Gray in the middle.
Wow. Takeo Spike said, are you kidding me?
There's a third and 13, too.
Encroachment, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's the little things, Kevin. We talked about it against Peyton Manning. Look at that, right there. And sometimes when you're blitzing, as you saw Sean Phillips is creeping up behind him, that's also what caused Gray to jump off sides. He felt the pressure coming from behind him from his own defenders. The defense is also making checks. They got to get lined up.
Manning on third and 13, clear to the block. Manning on the move. Grabbed on the play by Stokely. He gets as far as the 11, close to a first down, 13-yard pickup, and let's see where they spot it.
What a tackle by Butler. You're right, it is going to be determined by the spot. He may just be a little short, Kevin.
This Denver drive, and they're going to go for 3.
Right in front of number 56. Watch how Butler closes on this. And boy, did he need every step and every inch.
Drive started back at the 21. Hillman ran one for 19. Ball had a run of 14. Catch and run. Dreesen for 12. Stokely for 13. Here's a 30-yard field goal to extend the Bronco lead. Prater from 30. Broncos on top by 11. 10:43 in the fourth. This month, the NFL is honoring veterans and active duty servicemen and women in the League Salute to Service campaign. Today's game features a number of camouflage branded elements on display, including player gloves and captain's patches. Representatives from the U.S. Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, and Wounded Warrior heroes will be recognized in this stadium and stadiums all over the NFL. They've done it right, but our sincerest thanks for what the men and women of the armed forces do for the way we live in this country. 27-16, a 30-yard Raider field goal moments ago. The ensuing kickoff is again out of the end zone. Rivers and his team down by 2 scores and 10:43 to play. It was 6-2 at kickoff. Now we're down in the mid-50s. 1st and 10. Rivers at his 20. Rivers has hit 5 in a row. The blitz is on. The pass is away. He's got Floyd at the 42. Working on the Pro Bowler Bailey. It's a 1st and 10 for San Diego on a 38-yard strike by Rivers.
There's pressure there. River gets rid of it in the nick of time. He puts it over the top. Floyd makes a great adjustment working against Champ Bailey. Look, Bailey turns outside. Looks like Floyd's going to run away from him. That ball's underthrown a bit. Floyd anticipates and makes the catch. You can see the hit on Rivers despite the blitzing safety Adams. Rivers makes the completion.
390! Get hot!
He's on 1st and 10. Alexander trying to get a block. Little stiff arm takes him out of bounds. Running into Harris. He picks up a yard to James in New York.
The Patriots just seem to find a way.
They get everybody involved, JB. Here, Julian Edelman will take this end around. He'll go 47 yards. This will lead to a 3-yard touchdown run by Stephen Ridley. And New England is up 52-24.
Somehow, some way, Kevin and Solid.
I'll tell you one way, when the Colts are playing without their 2 starting cornerbacks, that would be a way to get into the end zone against that Colts defense, and Patriots are taking advantage of it.
5 defensive backs. Brown in the backfield. 2nd down and 9. Short for Brown. Coverage by D.J. Williams. Incomplete pass.
All right, big 3rd down. I firmly believe, again, this is 4 down territory for Norv Turner. You're down by 11. You're not going to attempt a field goal from here. I'm sure we'll get the target line, but I think right now you've got to go. Just assume you're playing for your season right now, Kevin.
Chargers on the last drive were 3 of 3 on 3rd down. Now they have 3rd and 9. They need the Bronco 32. Going deep, he's got Meacham, and then the ball, and the receiver went in opposite directions. With Carter defending, I think he would have had a chance, but he cut in when the ball went out.
Yeah, and that's where Rivers was expecting him to go, trying to get on top, but then pressure. See, when Rivers can't step, look at this ball wobble. It's because he could not step into it because of the pressure coming into his face. Phillip Rivers talks about it. When I could step into throws, that's when I know I could drive it home with great accuracy. When he can't step into it, you saw what happens there. They are going to go for it on 4th down like I thought they would. Let's see if they take the shot down the field. Again, Kevin, it starts with protection for Phillip Rivers.
Six defensive backs. A flag is down.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now it becomes 4th down and 14 for Turner's offense.
Wow. Well, that's a blow. That one is very tough. That's a blow to your chances to be able to convert. That they're still going to go for.
Interesting, isn't it? Because this season's been marred by Rivers' miscues late in the game, but he had a late 3rd quarter touchdown pass. Trying to reverse it because in the first 13 drives, there was a total of only 64 Charger yards on 13 drives to begin the game.
In their last 2 possessions, including this one, they have moved the ball. Phillip Rivers has made plays.
They need the 32, 4th and 14. They come up the middle. Was it picked off? It may have been. Leonard, did he scoop it up? They say it's an interception at the 29. Jim Leonard, the third turnover by San Diego.
He had to throw it. It was fourth down.
Ruling on the field.
One way or another, he had to get rid of it.
First down, Denver. Timeout.
Oh, we are back, Kevin. We're going to show you the interception. First of all, take a look at the pressure in Phillip Rivers' face. Frieza there, you see the pressure. Now he can even go here, but he really wants Floyd over the middle of the field. But Floyd gets cut off. Rivers has to go in and throw it. You can't get caught holding onto the ball on fourth down. It's going to either be caught by your guy or by their guy. Either way, you got to get rid of it.
Hillman on first down and 10. Cam Thomas jumps on his back. They did rule the interception for Leonard. All turnovers are reviewed. It's a gain of a yard there by Ronnie Hillman, the rookie out of San Diego State. And 2 interceptions thrown by Rivers this afternoon.
That's his 7th interception thrown in the fourth quarter. We said by far the most in the NFL. But I think when you go back and look at it, it's the lack of protection that forces him to deliver the errant pass.
Second down throw to Hillman. There's a block by Decker. Knocked down by Wright to the 42. 13-yard pickup, first down Denver.
How about Hillman? Look at Eric Studesville, the running back coach. He pats the rookie on the head because he was smart enough to not only make the catch but stay in bounds. Could have easily got out of bounds. He understands situational football. You stay in bounds and keep bleeding the clock.
56 Lion.
Lance Ball is the running back, first down and 10.
Hurry, hurry.
Good block by Beatles, but the hole quickly evaporates. Cam Thomas is there, gain of 3 to the 45, and a late flag. A flag thrown well after the play had been blown dead.
Going to be against San Diego, according to Peyton Manning.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Number 94 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That is the emerging star on the defensive line for San Diego, Corey Legit.
There's 94 there. Didn't quite see it right there, but the officials sure saw it. This defense has to make a play. They don't get the ball back. Can't stop Peyton Manning. Not only could it be game over, boy, it'd be tough to make it out of this division into the playoffs as a wild card, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. 2 tight ends, first and 10.
Hurry, hurry.
Ball. Blocked by Decker. Tackle made by DeMario Williams and by Sharice Wright. It's a run of 13 yards, which takes him for a first down to the 37.
Boy, Broncos bringing their running game. You know, so many coaches we talk to, they said, you know, the rush yards comes late in games. You get a lead, you want to go ahead and bleed time off the clock. Now you can stick the ball in the belly of the back. In this case, give it to Ball and allow him to rip off chunks. That's where you get the bulk of your rushing yards.
On this drive, Hillman caught it for 13. Ball just ran it for 13. First and 10. Hillman. And he is taken down. That's a loss of a yard right there. Looks like Phillips jumped on him and brought him down about the 38. And this is the way it looks right now. The lead for Denver. They beat San Diego today. They have a 3-game lead and the tiebreaker and sweep the season series.
Proven to 7-3 if they can hold on to it. Chargers will fall to 4-6. And looking up big time at the Denver Broncos, having been swept for the first time in 7 years by the Broncos.
Manning on second and 11. Here they come again. Reyes with his second sack. Third sack by the defense today, pushing Manning back to his 45, or the San Diego 45.
Reyes has given Dan Copeland all that he can handle. It was Manny Ramirez as well as Copeland that Reyes was able to beat. He's looked really good here late in the game.
He's had 2 sacks. Remember, Chargers came in with only 14 sacks all season. They got 3 today.
3rd and 18. Now watch Peyton Manning. He knows he needs to get some yards here, but he will not risk a turnover on this throw.
They need the 27. And they got the 27 and more. The backpedaling Tammy all the way to the 15. 31-yard pickup, 1st and 10, Denver Broncos.
Is this why they call him the sheriff? Look at this. Right over the head of Takeo Spikes, 51. Right in between 3 defenders does Peyton Manning deliver a laser to Tammy. That was an incredible play. And maybe a backbreaker for this Chargers defense.
31-yard pickup. Manning now with 271, 270 throwing this afternoon. 3 touchdowns.
4.
He's close to going over 3,000 yards for the season again. 1st and 10. And Hillman hit by Takeo Spikes. Wrapped up by Gray. Gain of a yard to the 14.
Peyton Manning is outstanding. And what he's had to overcome. You know, that injury was something that required a lot of patience. He was released by the Indianapolis Colts, signed by the Denver Broncos. The Broncos showed great faith, and the way that John Elway and Coach Fox handled it allowed them to be able to get a quarterback like Peyton Manning, not knowing for certain that it would end well.
2nd down, 9 to the end zone. Manning for Decker. Coverage by Lynch. Coverage by Sharice Wright on this 4.5-minute drive. Now 3rd and 9.
Gonna come right at you. Peyton Manning still taking shots. This team has scored 30 or more points in 4 consecutive games. They're trying to make it 5, Kevin. They want more points. You know, Peyton, he continues to push it. He really does. And we covered him for years in Indianapolis. He would come back every year with that look in his eye as if it was his 1st or 2nd year, as if he were a young man still chasing it as if he had never achieved greatness.
As we talked before, he makes everybody around him, coaches and players, both better.
Absolutely. Continues to set the bar tremendously high, even for himself.
So coming up now for John Fox, who, by the way, grew up in San Diego, went to San Diego State. His dad was a Navy SEAL based in San Diego. This is what's coming up now for the Denver Broncos, who right now are circling over win number 7.
And you know John Fox will tell his team, even though Kansas City is struggling, it's always tough for any team within the AFC West Division to go to Arrowhead and win. And then Tampa is an emerging team who you and I saw 1 week ago.
A 30-second timeout.
Solomon, just take into perspective here what this city has gone through. Last year, Tebow mania.
Wow.
Coming out of no place. Tebow starts mid-season, leads them to the playoffs. They win a playoff game in this stadium. So then he is gone. Manning comes in, and the same euphoria. I mean, I can't think of a more charismatic 2 years in any NFL city but Denver.
But don't you get the sense that this is the kind of euphoria that's not full of pixie dust? Yep. This is one that could end up taking you to a Super Bowl. This is one you can really believe in.
Looks legit. The rookie was busy getting some water. Now he's back out there on 3rd and 9. He gives Manning a block. The pass is low and uncatchable for Thomas with the coverage by Kaysen. It'll be 4th and 9. They'll try to tack on 3 more.
Look at Peyton. He's not happy. He's never satisfied. He wants perfection. He's talking with the coaches. John Fox said he makes all of us better, including the coaching staff. He pushes us to be better coaches. Well, that's saying a lot about a player.
You said he's got great football character. I thought that was a great term.
It is attention to detail like no other. We've been in meetings with him, Kevin. You know it as well.
It's a 32-yard field goal to make it 30-16 Denver. The 4th quarter clock at 4:14, and the Broncos are very close to sewing this one up. Well, there's the debriefing that Peyton has with his offense after every series. They've had consecutive drives of 10 plays and 11 plays, culminating in 2 field goals. Each drive 5 minutes plus when they needed the most.
You think his team was the one down by 14 points in this game, right? Incredible.
It's a learning experience for everybody, and once again, Prater knocks it out of the end zone, so the touchback to the 20 for Phillip Rivers, down 30-16, 4:14 to play. So engaged is Peyton Manning, four-time MVP, and I don't know that right now he wouldn't be the MVP at this stage of the season in the NFL.
When you're putting up these kind of numbers and you're taking over an offense, a new team, a new system, and new players around it, you're scoring 30 points each and every week for 5 consecutive weeks, he could end up winning that unprecedented 5th MVP. No player in NFL history has ever won 5.
No one's ever won 4. First and 10. Ryan Matthews on the turf. He goes down. Bailey was closing in. Woodyard finishes him off, and Solomon, he picks up a gain of 1 to the 21.
Well, and this is where, if you're the San Diego Chargers, you know it's fleeting. You could see the sand in the hourglass fading on their season.
Because if they lose today, they're 3 games back, and they lose the tiebreaker. So in essence, 4 games. That's tough. 2nd down and 9. Dumerville hits Rivers as Rivers hits Alexander.
Rivers is shaken up.
Carter was the one to make the tackle, gain of 11.
Watch this. Gets hit. I don't know how Rivers had enough on that ball to deliver the completion. Yeah, there was some pressure. Look at that. A double hit by the best tandem in football. It was Dumerville and Von Miller tag teaming on Phillip Rivers.
How would you like to be an offensive coordinator and try to come up with some kind of potion to stop those 2 guys on each end?
You put Robert Ayers in the mix, they can really bring it.
First and 10, Matthews, he's got a blocker ahead, that's head knock, but he'll do it himself, and Moore runs him out of bounds. It is a catch and run by the Charger running back to the 44, and he picks up 24.
Well, you get some blocking out in front of him, and that offers a convoy. There you see right there. There's a block to spring him, and then you got the big man rolling out in front as well.
That has actually, I think, stabilized that line of that left guard. Down in the backfield, 1st and 10. Rivers, Alexander, brought down by Woodyard. Another 1st down to the 30, picks up 14. This Alexander is some kind of story. 5 surgeries on his left knee, 3 his senior year. They signed him off the street, Solomon, a month ago.
Yeah, and he's found a home here. Over the last 2 games, no one has played better than Demario Alexander.
Rivers on that 1st down pass, a little high to Alexander.
Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
So the Denver Broncos, for our new audience, a win today puts them up 3 games in the division. 3 touchdown passes by Peyton Manning. Early on, though, it was a pick 6. Weddle on a deflected pass took it in. They were down by 7. And those are some of the numbers today. We've had 5 turnovers. Von Miller, maybe the best defensive player in the NFL after J.J. Watt down at Houston. With 3 sacks, he's had his fingerprints all over this game.
Phillip Rivers has 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble in the game because he has been hit, hurried, and harassed.
First down and 20. Ronnie Brown. Miller brings him down. Gain of 5 to the 35.
The 2-minute warning.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. Broncos are right over their 7th win of the season. And trying to sweep the series this year against San Diego. Chargers and Rivers, 2nd down, 15. Broncos have scored 13 points off 3 San Diego turnovers. Oh, that did. False start.
False start, number 79, offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You know, Kevin, for the first time in 16 games, the Broncos didn't score any points in the 1st quarter, but in the 2nd quarter, Demaryius Thomas catches the first of Manning's 3 touchdown passes. Rivers gets picked off by Wesley Woodyard, and then Manning smells for more blood. Touchdown strike, 31 yards to Stoker, and then a 3rd down strike to Eric Decker. He's got a nose for the end zone. 3 touchdown passes for Peyton Manning in this game. They've scored 30 points for the 5th consecutive game, the most in the National Football League. This offense and defense is red hot in Denver.
Looking into 6 defensive backs. 2nd down and 20. Alexander with the catch. The tackle by Bailey. The gain to the 22. He picks up 18 on 2nd and 20.
Rivers is still fighting. Watch, someone grabs his hand just as he's ready to throw the ball. He gets hit, but still stands in the pocket and delivers a strike to Alexander. Very impressive throw.
On 1st and 10, Ronnie Brown hit by Wolf. Then down he goes. It was 3rd down and 2. As they tried to carve out the first, they got maybe a yard.
First charge timeout, San Diego. A 30-second timeout.
On this drive, which started back at the Charger 20, an 11-yard pass to Alexander, an 18-yard pass to Alexander.
Please put 129 on the game clock.
And a 24-yard catch and run by Matthews out of the backfield.
Kevin, Rivers already has one touchdown pass in this game. He's thrown one. An 8-yard strike in the corner of the end zone to Denario Alexander. And remember, he's 6'5". He was matched up against the 5'9" Tony Carter. Will the Broncos give them that same look? And if Phillip Rivers gets the matchup he wants, will he go to a Malcolm Floyd against Carter, who's also goes 6'5", or will he stick with Alexander? He wants the favorable matchup to win the jump ball opportunity. Carter's at the bottom of the screen against Alexander.
On 4th and 1. Rivers, what a catch by Alexander. That is a touchdown. Carter was beaten.
It's the matchup they wanted. Remember, Carter came into today's game only allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete 27% of their passes. By far the best of any quarterback in the National Football League. But when you're going up against someone as tall as Alexander and you're 5'9", very difficult to keep him out of the end zone. And I thought if Carter was playing from off, maybe he has a better chance. But soon I saw him in the bump and run situation. You knew Rivers was going to take a shot.
Rivers throws his 2nd touchdown pass. Of course, every scoring play is reviewed.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under review.
1:24 to play here.
They want to know, did he hold on to the ball? Did he complete the catch? Go ahead and take a look. Watch the end. Remember, in the NFL, you got to catch it and then hold on to the ball throughout the catch. Does this ball move? Bam. That ball moves right. Oh, they're going to take this one back, Kevin. Unfortunately for him, they're going to take it back. That ball moved. Once it hits the ground and it jostles and it moves, it dislodges from his possession. And that's why they're going to call it an incompleted pass. Knee down, ball there. But remember the Calvin Johnson play a couple of years ago in the end zone. Even though the ball touched down in the end zone, he would have to maintain full, complete possession of the ball through the catch and through contact and collision with the ground. That's the rule.
Through the catch are the key rules.
Through the catch and through the collision with the ground. And that's the key. So, see, right now, in the past, right now, that would have been a touchdown. But no, when they changed the rule, it says the ball can touch the ground as long as it doesn't move, rotate, or jostle loose. And clearly, there was movement of the ball after it touched the ground. And I think Charlie Joyner, Hall of Fame wide receiver, who coaches the wide receiver for the Chargers, is coaching him up on that very point right now. But great play by Alexander.
Here's a kid they signed off the street a month ago. They've been trying to find some replacement for the lost free agent Vincent Jackson, who left for big money to Tampa Bay. This guy is 6'5". Maybe they have found the replacement.
Well, he senses this one's going to come back. You can see the disappointment on his face. I think the Chargers will be surprised if this was not overturned. It was ruled a touchdown on the field of play, and it's a 4th down play. So if it doesn't stand, the ball will go to the Denver Broncos. And the game is basically over. That's how big this play is. It's under review. It was ruled a touchdown in the field of play.
Chargers came in having lost 2 of their last 3, but they had won. Rivers and this Charger team had won 3 consecutive games here in Denver. They had won 5 of the last 6. The difference is there was no number 18 for the Broncos.
It's as if it's as if the negative energy and momentum continues for this Charger team. Since that Week 6 contest, Kevin, that we've talked about so much because I think you have to talk about it to put it into context where both these teams are. Let's see what they call it. He had possession when the ball touched the ground.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The receiver had possession of the ball and as a second act, stuck the ball out across the goal line, therefore ending the process of the catch. It is a touchdown.
Wow. So they're saying that when he stuck the ball over the goal line right here, they're saying that's the touchdown right there.
Because he caught the ball.
He had caught the ball and made a football act. He completed an act, which is he caught it, turned around, and stuck the ball out.
Novak will try to tack on one more, and we have a 7-point game with 1:24 to play here in Denver.
Wow. And you can see even on the faces of many of the San Diego Chargers, they weren't so sure that that catch would be upheld. Take a look at the standings, and this is what's on the line with that catch by Alexander. Now down by 7 points, Kevin, with 1:24 to go.
So a loss would, in effect, put the Chargers 4 games back of Denver in the AFC West because the Broncos would hold the tiebreaker between the two.
How big has Alexander been in the couple of weeks they had him on the football team? He wasn't in training camp with the San Diego Chargers, but he's a former high pick for the St. Louis Rams. You mentioned the injuries that he's had. The talent has never been in question. The durability has.
He has 7 catches this afternoon for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see what they're going to do here on the kickoff. They began the second half with an onside kick, and it looks like perhaps they're going to try the same thing again here.
A successful onside kick to begin the second half.
Novak with the kick. Timeout, Denver.
Second charge timeout, Denver. A 30-second timeout. Correction, third and final charge timeout, Denver.
They're out of
30-second
timeouts.
timeout.
Look at John Fox, who has, over the last 2 years, as we talked about this earlier in the broadcast, handled 2 pretty interesting quarterback situations. Tebow mania a season ago, Manning coming in, and as John told us, he said he's affected the football character of our organization, but when we got him, he was still regenerating the nerves in his hand, and so it was a process of that physically, getting used to the young receivers we had, and for our offense, Solomon, to change from a running offense to a passing offense.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, wonderful things has happened with Peyton Manning. And, you know, we talked to him about that Peyton Manning passing academy. You have to wonder if Brock Osweiler is attending those academies, because the players who have come out of there, what it has meant for the National Football League, I think it has improved the level of play at the quarterback position with a lot of great players. Take a look at the onside kick.
And they've had one successful onside kick today. Trying it again. Grabbed by Denver. Wrapped up. Grabbed on the play by tight end Virgil Green. So the Broncos are out of timeout. San Diego's got 2. Manning will take over, first down and 10.
And you'll see North Turner burn those timeouts immediately. Immediately. But first, you've got to stop the play. If you're the Broncos, you're going to run it. And if you're the Chargers, you got to know they're going to run it. You're not going to put the ball in the air and risk an interception or an incompletion, which would automatically stop the clock. So you run the football to kill clock. And if you're the Chargers, you've got to know that, be able to stuff the run, and then immediately call timeout.
58, he's down. We're 20.
Coleman in the backfield, first down and 10 with a block from Vasquez. A good tackle right there by Donald Butler. There is no gain on the play and a timeout.
Second charge timeout, San Diego. A 30-second timeout.
Oh, they only lose 4 seconds on the clock, Kevin. 1:24, 4 seconds loss. Good play, good stop, good execution by using the timeout quickly. Now they want to do that again. And I think if you're Denver, yeah, you're going to run the ball. It's hard to do that when you know the Chargers understand your intent on 2nd and 10. But you've got to try to get some movement, and you've got to try to get that runner to the second level, because if he can pick up a first down, essentially it would be game over.
It's second down and 10. Hillman again, Beatles a block. And again, they chip him up. Reyes, 91. Legion, throw him for a 1-yard loss. Another San Diego timeout.
San Diego, a 30-second timeout.
Broncos will be back at the 50.
So they burn their final timeout. They lose only 8 seconds in 2 plays. Now they're out of timeouts, and I think if you're Denver, you go ahead and run it again. And now you'll be able to bleed even more time off the clock if you stay in bounds, because the Chargers are out of timeouts. So Chargers should get the ball back even after the punt with under a minute left to play, if they get the stop here on 3rd down.
Same basic personnel, 3rd down and 11.
20.
Hillman for a 3rd consecutive time, stuffed again. That time Jarrett Johnson, the ex-Raven, with the stop. No gain, they stay at the 50. Both teams are out of timeouts. So Denver will take their sweet time.
They'll look to punt it here.
Manning today, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Leading Pro Bowl vote getter so far, and coming into this weekend as the #1 rated passer in the NFL. Well, they can run the clock down to about 31 seconds before Colquitt would have to punt. Manning, by the way, just to tie up some loose ends, some housekeeping, 1 more touchdown pass coming into today was all he needed to go to 421 and pass Dan Marino for #2. Well, he did that, and he tacked on 2 more. So 3.
Delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Please put 30 seconds on the game clock.
3 Manning touchdown passes today. And if Denver goes on to win,
Thank you.
he will be at 148 in terms of regular season wins. That would tie #2, ironically enough, John Elway.
On Elway. Records are falling as long as Peyton Manning keeps playing.
Antoine Keeson is back inside the 15. Ball's 4, and there's a lot of the fair catch back at about the 13-yard line. So here we go. It's 42-yard punt, out of timeouts, and 23 seconds with which to work. Rivers will strap it on and have his offense out there 1st and 10.
I think they're going to take some shots. I think they're going to try to get down the field and get the matchups that we talked about. You see where the ball is. Look at the length of field they need to cover to be able to tie this game at 30 apiece.
That is a long way to go. So defensive backs are Carter and Leonard. Adams. They've got Bruton in there, Champ Bailey, Raheem Moore. 7 defensive backs, 1st and 10. Stop for the tight end Green. Bailey was making sure he didn't get much more than 4 yards, and he's got the ball to the 17.
Hasn't there been just a tremendous improvement in terms of the protection for Phillip Rivers on the last few possessions? Here in the 4th quarter, the offensive line's been better.
You know, really, when they changed left guards and they put Hadnot in there, they seem to be far more protective of Rivers. You're right.
Maybe they're giving more help also to Clary against Von Miller.
2nd down and 6. Here comes the rush. Dumerville. There's a fumble. Down he went. Clock continues to go. It is the 4th sack authored by the Denver Broncos, and that is all she wrote. And the Denver Broncos have won it. Manning 3 touchdown passes. They win it 30-23. Their lead now is 3 games, and they have the tiebreaker against 2nd place San Diego. tonight on CBS. 60 Minutes followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, The Good Wife, and The Mentalist. For Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Denver. Wishing you all a very happy Thanksgiving week. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 47.